And so to September, Labor Day, the unofficial end to summer. How will the Mets spend Labor Day, the end of summer? Well, they'll spend it in the place where summer never ends, Miami, Florida. At Marlins Park in Miami, the New York Mets play the Miami Marlins. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Miami. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling with you today as the Mets open a 3-game series against the Marlins and begin the month of September. With 4 weeks to go in the regular season, the Marlins have one of the top MVP contenders in the National League, Giancarlo Stanton, leading the league in home runs and RBIs, but for a non-contending team. So you wonder how much of a chance does he have to win the MVP this year?
You know, it's a hard thing. I saw Andre Dawson with the MVP with the team, the Cubs, that were not contending. But when you look at his numbers, of those 98 RBIs, 36 have tied the game or have put the Miami Marlins ahead. So he's gotten some big hits all year long. I, former pitcher, do not include starting pitchers at MVP vote. I know you feel differently. But the McCutchen's been great, Luco's been great, but Giancarlo Stanton is above the rest.
Funny thing is, Andrew McCutchen won the MVP last year. He's actually having a slightly better year this year.
Well, McCutchen is just one of those guys that he's playing with a broken rib. He's playing hurt, and he's still putting up those great numbers.
On the mound today for the Mets is Zach Wheeler, and Zach's season really got started when he pitched a gem of a game here in June.
Think about it. On the morning of June 19th, he was 2-7. He has now gotten his record to 9-9. He has been outstanding and probably the greatest surprise in the pitching staff for the Mets all year.
4 starts against the Marlins this year and 0.65 ERA against them. On the other side, the sinker baller Henderson Alvarez, same age as Wheeler, 24 years old. He's been great this year, although he's given up some more home runs lately.
You know what's interesting about Alvarez against the Mets? It's either black or white. There's no gray. He's either unbelievably outstanding or has his struggles. His first start against the Mets came in a Toronto Blue Jays uniform, but he's one of those guys, ground ball after ground ball pitcher.
Pitched a 6-hit shutout against the Mets earlier this season here in Miami. So it's Wheeler and Alvarez on Labor Day in Miami. Mets and Marlins, all the action coming your way this afternoon on SNY. brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture, proud to be the furniture store of the New York Mets. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. By Delta. Delta has the only outdoor airport lounge in New York. Delta, keep climbing. And by Lexus, introducing a car designed with one purpose, to stand apart. The 2014 Lexus IS. It's your move. You can follow every Mets game with MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit Mets.com today. Time for you to send in your AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet or Instagram your photo using hashtag SNYFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown later today during the game. It's the Mets and Marlins. Roof closed in Miami on a hot, humid afternoon with showers impending. Henderson Alvarez coming in from the bullpen, ready for the first pitch. That's coming right up. Most reliable network. Get to Citi Field Friday, September 12th for Free Shirt Friday when the Mets take on the Nationals at 7:10. All fans in attendance will receive a Mets t-shirt courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays. The Marlins are on the field. Henderson Alvarez pitching for Miami this afternoon. Bobby Parnell, who's been doing his rehab from Tommy John surgery down in Port St. Lucie, joining the Mets today for this series, doing some light throwing before the game.
Said that he'll really start to ratchet it up a little bit around Christmas time. Well, Dan Worthen is trying to work with him to take the ball straight back as opposed to take it outside of his shoulder, straight back. And you see that Parnell trying to imitate that in his throwing.
When you're coming back from a major surgery like that, is it almost like trying to learn how to throw all over again?
Well, I think there's two things that happen right there with Dan Worthen working on him, maybe to do something that you won't have the injury again. And I think secondly, even more importantly, when you're coming back from injury, Gary, you're always afraid that one throw might be it.
Geico starting lineup for this afternoon. Mets had a good offensive day yesterday. 6 runs and 11 hits. Curtis Granderson, who sat out yesterday, is back in there in right field, hoping for a better September after a miserable month of August, as the Mets will face Henderson Alvarez for the 5th time this season.
That's interesting, the available position players here on September 1st. The Mets have a few call-ups. Henderson Alvarez, 10-6 record, unbelievable ERA. He's a guy that only averages about 13.5 pitches per inning. He pounds the strike zone. Defensively behind Henderson this afternoon for the Miami Marlins, great outfield. Yelich, Ozuna, Stanton. Stanton's the oldest at 24 years old. Shockingly, McGee, Echeverria, Solano, and Jones. They've started 8 different second basemen during this season, and Saltalamacchia behind the plate.
Ronnie mentioned the call-ups. The Mets called up 4 players and 2 pitchers because, well, they're a little short in the bullpen right now. The position players, guys who've been here before, Josh Stanton and Juan Centeno. The pitchers have not. Eric Goodell, a right-hander, and Dario Alvarez, who came up from Double-A, a left-hander. Josh Edgin and Daisuke Matsuzaka are both back in New York, having their sore elbows attended to. So the Mets needed some extra bodies, and they've got them here, as the rosters can expand to as many as 40 on the 1st of September. Alvarez will always do this exaggerated windup on his first pitch of the game, and it is in for a strike to Juan Lagares when we're underway.
It's almost like a cricket bowler when he starts that windup.
You almost expect him to proceed all the way to the plate. Lagares hits it softly to short. Echeverria hurrying in, and a quick throw against Lagares for the first out of the day. So 1 out and nobody on. And now Granderson. Curtis got a mental health day off yesterday. It has been just a dreadful time of it for Curtis since the 20th of July. That's the last 37 games. He's hitting .153 with a .222 slugging percentage. Not exactly what you expect, and hoping that the final month of the season will yield some different results.
I mean, when you see hitters like Curtis Granderson go into a slump, you know, it's around the 200 mark. To be 153 is just shocking.
Solano throws him out, so 2 quick ground ball outs for Alvarez, and that's his game. He's a sinker ball pitcher, generally keeps the ball down and in the ballpark. And now David Wright. David had a good day yesterday with a couple of hits and his first RBI in the last 15 games, but like Granderson, he needs a strong final month just to feel better about himself going into the offseason. This is a pitcher that David has thrived against.
It's interesting, wasn't it? David, before he got in the box, a little nod to Alvarez, reciprocated by the pitcher.
David is 9 for 19 against Alvarez. And his last home run, and that was on July 11th, 157 at bats ago, came against Alvarez at Citi Field right before the All-Star break, which is unusual in and of itself because, as we say, Alvarez is a guy who keeps the ball in the park, although not lately. Alvarez has given up 4 home runs in his last 2 starts. You see David's career numbers. Another ground ball, handled cleanly by Echeverria. 7 pitches, 3 ground ball outs for Henderson Alvarez to start his Labor Day afternoon. Zach Wheeler heads to the mound when we come back to Miami. Ronnie mentioned their young outfield. Yelich is having a tremendous year. Stanton having an MVP caliber year, and Ozuna, well, the Mets have seen far too much of him already offensively and defensively.
I was trying to explain in the open that when you are 2 for 7 on the season, and that was what Zach's record was when he came into Miami and pitched that 1-0 beautiful game. You're looking at a brutal season, and to show the moxie to come back and get to 99 is pretty amazing.
Yelich, the youngest of the Miami baby outfield, just 22 years old, and he takes outside for ball 1. Yelich with a .370 on base percentage. That's 10th in the National League at age 22. I'll give you an idea what he's all about. And Wheeler quickly behind him, 2-0.
He's a guy that has more speed than you think. Good outfielder.
Donovan Solano on deck, and Wheeler quickly behind, 3-0. Wheeler, for all of his advancements, still tied for 3rd in the National League in walks this year. 68 walks and 159 2/3 innings. About 3.8 walks per 9. And there's his first strike, 3-1. Zach making his 28th start. Looks like he'll be able to finish the season with no limits on his innings. Probably won't get to 200 innings, but he might get to 190.
Well, you love those stepping stones. If he gets to 190 to 200, that means next year 210 to 220. So no problems with the full season.
3-2 to Yelich leading off, and he fouls away the fastball. Well, we've said it so often with Zach. He's got to find a way to get some quicker outs. He managed to get through 7 innings in his last start against Atlanta, and that was key because it was only the second time this year he'd gotten through 7. The other was his complete game here.
This at bat is kind of emblematic of what's happened to Zach all year long, right? Behind a hitter, trying to come back in the count, and Yelich keeps fouling off some pitches. Terry Collins had some interesting words today. Asked about some of his call-ups. He said, first time I've met him, so I don't know.
Duda handles the ground ball. He'll take care of Yelich himself, and that's the first out.
The defensively behind Zach this afternoon on this Labor Day. In the outfield, Den Decker is getting most of the playing that time in left field. Lagares and Granderson. Granderson had the day off yesterday. Right, Flores, Herrera, and Duda. Flores and Herrera now a few days in a row, and Wheeler and d'Arnaud, the battery.
Well, Dilson Herrera playing his 4th game in the big leagues, one of 14 natives of Colombia ever to play in the big leagues. Here's another one, Donovan Solano. So both starting second basemen in the game today are among the just over a dozen players who've ever played in the big leagues from Colombia.
A nation proud today, right?
Solano has played lately in that revolving door that the Marlins have had at second base, and he's played well. Quickly behind 0-2. Derek Dietrich has played the most second base from Miami. For a while, Jordany Valdespin, the former Met, was getting some playing time there, but he's now on the bench for Miami. And the curveball from Wheeler takes care of Solano for the second out.
That was a good morning, good afternoon, good night moment for Solano there. Wheeler got ahead and then just used that great curveball to put him away.
So 2 out and nobody on, and now Giancarlo Stanton will dig in for his first at bat. Stanton, at 24 years of age, having his best season. 33 home runs, 98 RBIs, and most importantly, his most healthy season. It's been the biggest problem for Stanton the last couple of years, has been staying on the field for the full year as he takes a slider for ball 1. Stanton second in the National League in on-base percentage, leading the league in slugging percentage, has drawn the most walks, most home runs, most RBIs. Curveball hit out to left, hit deep. Den Decker back to the wall, leaps, and it's out of here. Number 34 for Giancarlo Stanton breaks the ice. 1-0 Miami.
It was pretty interesting. I was watching the bat boy tap the bat. I'm not sure. He might have broke his bat on that home run. I mean, that's what it sounded like up here, but it didn't end up in the result. You have to say when Stanton's up, maybe a little off the end of the bat, and still able to hit it 400 feet away.
Well, when he gets all of it, it generally goes 450 or more.
See, he's telling his guys on the bench, "It was a little slider I hit."
There's Casey McGee. Well, Stanton is he's reason enough to come to the ballpark, isn't he? He's one of those sluggers in an era where sluggers are harder and harder to find, that gives you a legitimate threat to see a home run every time he comes to the plate. McGee hitting at .294. And after a big first half driving in runs, that has slowed greatly. He had 53 RBIs at the All-Star break, only 9 since the break. Wheeler ahead of him 0-2, and the curveball taken outside.
You know, Gary, my era of playing, only guys who hit home runs were the big guys. And we're getting back to that. You know, the Lucas Dudas for the Mets, the Stanton, of course, here.
Anthony Rizzo with the Cubs.
There you go.
Those are the big home run hitters in the National League this year. Old foul. Well, Stanton was one of the youngest ever to get to 150 home runs. That is a rather elite list right there.
What a list.
And he's now hit 22 home runs in this ballpark this year. 22 of his 34 have come at home, and this is by no means a home run hitter's park. Herrera handles the grounder and throws out McGee to end the inning, but one big swing by Giancarlo Stanton gives the Marlins the early lead, his 34th of the year. 1-0 Marlins after 1. Pitchers have arrived at the same point in a little different fashion this year.
You know, the thing that stands out, of course, is that a couple more starts, but Wheeler just has 2 more innings than Alvarez, who usually goes a little deeper into games. But Wheeler is the strikeout pitcher, and Alvarez is not. So when you're not a strikeout pitcher, you're going to throw less pitches.
Lucas Duda leading off in the second. Mets down 1-0. And Alvarez fires a fastball for a strike, 0-2. Lucas had a great road trip to California, then struggled during the homestand against Atlanta and Philadelphia. Went just 2 for 23. Travis d'Arnaud waits on deck, and he hits a comebacker. Alvarez calmly makes the play. 4 batters, 4 ground ball outs for Henderson Alvarez.
Kind of nonchalantly, didn't he?
Just wanted to let you know it wasn't too much muss or fuss.
It's almost like showing you up. You're such an easy out. I don't even have to pay attention on this one.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Travis d'Arnaud. D'Arnaud just 2 for his last 15. Got yesterday off, and Anthony Recker had the biggest hit for the Mets. D'Arnaud's backup hit a 3-run homer. One consequence of the September call-ups, the Mets now have a third catcher. Left-hand hitting Juan Centeno joined the ball club here today. And one thing that does is it gives Terry Collins the leeway late in the game when he needs a big right-handed power swing to use Recker as a pinch hitter, something he's not really been able to do. It's the only sport where the nature of the game changes in the final month of the season.
Yeah, I don't like it. I personally get it, you know, bringing the guys up, getting a taste of being in the major leagues. You know, when you're on a contending team, you're afraid because you might change the chemistry of the team. When you're on a team like the Mets that are 9 games under 500 in 4th place in the National League East, you're trying to see some guys, see if they have any talent. Can they play at this level?
d'Arnaud has to turn out of the way, and what happens in games is that they're managed differently. You see more pinch runners, you see more situational relievers, and in games that are played with contenders, that can make a big difference in a pennant race, having those extra bodies available. Some teams do, some teams don't.
Well, it's interesting. If you're a second division team, it gives you more weapons to contend against the contending teams that have been doing it all season long. I've always thought that baseball should be more of, you have a roster of guys, you can only name so many during that day of play.
Well, that's what hockey does.
Yeah.
You know, you can have extra guys, but you can only use so many in a given game. Now, you know, if you have 35 guys up, and most teams aren't going to have more than about 32 or 33 at the most, but you'd have to name 25 to play that day. And that keeps everybody kind of on a level playing field.
And 4 are eliminated just because they're starting pitchers usually.
d'Arnaud hits one out to Stanton in right field. That's the first fly ball out for Alvarez, who's retired the first 5. I know most managers that I have talked to would like to see the rules change. There's Josh Satin, who rejoins the Mets today. He's been down in the minor leagues since early May after struggling early in the season, coming off the bench for the Mets.
He just hit a little over 100. He was another guy that, you know, in the minor leagues he's been able to put up the numbers, but coming off the bench in the major leagues hasn't been able to replicate that.
And that's what the interesting part was for Josh, because when he got to play last year, he would produce as a starter. Call strike to Matt Dendecker. Dendecker went 3 for 9 in the series against the Phillies, and I think we've seen that with a lot of young players, haven't we? Guys who have been able to hit when they've played regularly, but not coming off the bench, and that's why it's been nice to watch what Kirk Neuenhuis has been able to do over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
And Campbell's also done it, although he's got more starts than Neuenhuis. There they are all together, brothers in arms.
The bomb squad. 1 and 2 to Dendecker.
Time I look up, every Mets hitter is either 0-2 or 1-2.
Dilson Herrera would be next.
2s across the board in average, and his number.
Matt Dendecker back in his home state. Played at the University of Florida. Quite a bit north of here. Alvarez goes to the changeup and strikes out Dendecker. His first strikeout. Mets are 6 up and 6 down to start this game. 1-0 Marlins in the second. Saturday, September 13th for Fireworks Night, presented by Dwayne Reed, following the Mets game against the Nationals at 7:10. For tickets, visit Mets.com/fireworks. Garrett Jones leads off the home second against Zach Wheeler and takes up and away for ball one. Jones, Ozuna, and Saltalamacchia against Wheeler in the second. Now, we have seen Zach come out throwing 96, 97, 98 early in games. This is not one of those games.
He's honestly, looks like to me, he's throwing 3/4, like throwing 75 or 80%, trying to work on his control. And he gets behind, and he gets it up there a little quicker. You know, Keith has said this many times, that Wheeler, one thing he does, he always brings that live fastball. A little less live this afternoon.
Threw that fastball by Garrett Jones, 2-2.
Well, he's got a beautiful motion. Remember, he went over the top of his head when he was 2-7. I mean, free and easy, 95-mile-an-hour gas.
2-2. Goes to the changeup and misses, full count. Well, he had the shutout here. That was on June 19th. His next start was at home against Oakland, and he got routed. And that seemed to kick something in gear. So something changed after that, because from that point on, in the next 11 starts leading up to today, Zach is 6-1 with a 2.17 ERA.
Well, I think that he took from this game here on June 19th, the 1-0 shutout, that this is what I can do. And the Oakland game where he got routed, I don't want to have that happen again. And he's done a great job of staying away from that.
By the way, Oakland, they're not that team anymore.
Well, their manager got a little angry yesterday, didn't he?
Bob Melvin said their performance in getting swept in 4 games by the Angels was embarrassing and pathetic. They scored 1 run in their last 3 games in that series. Jones draws a leadoff walk. This is Wheeler's gem against the Marlins back in June.
Well, the thing I remember about that game is, one, his fastball was electric. He had that slurve kind of working. He was in the middle of a curveball and slider at that point. Handled Stanton, handled McGee, handled that entire lineup. And for him to get through 9 innings, huge goal there for Zach.
Not just through 9, but with a 1-0 game. It was a gem of the first order. There's Marcell Ozuna, and he bounces one foul. And it was a game where he was able to keep his pitch count down. 111 pitches through 9 innings. That's been a rarity this year.
It's funny to see 1-0 shutout since Dwight Gooden. Just doesn't happen that often. I don't have any 1-0 games in my career. I know I pitched the game, ended up 1-0, but it's very rare for that to happen. You have to have both pitchers on top of their game.
Well, and also these days, a 1-run game going to the 9th, whether it's 6-5 or 1-0, you usually see a closer in the game. It's very rare that especially a young pitcher, is allowed to finish that kind of a game.
I love to see it. How do you know if a young pitcher can complete it if you don't allow him to or let him try to? It's manager Redmond.
Oh, 2 to Marcell Ozuna, and he rockets one foul.
You've seen this a couple times now. Wheeler has thrown 3 same pitches in a row. The 2-seamer inside the edge of Maria. The third one he pulled foul, hit it hard. Did the same with Stanton. 3 sliders in a row. The third one cost him. See if Darno tries to mix it up here. Call of the curve.
Out to left center. Lagares isn't going to get close to it. And one hops the wall. Jones being waved around third. He'll score easily. Ozuna into third base with an RBI triple. And it's 2-0 Miami. Well, Wheeler gave up the home run to Stanton on a breaking ball, and now an 0-2 breaking ball, and Ozuna hits a rocket for his 4th triple of the year.
So he calls the curveball, but you're ahead in the count, so you don't have to throw it for a strike. Zach does. and he catches a lot of the plate. And that ball was shot out of a cannon, or so it seemed. Lagares had no chance, and by the time he kind of corralled that in center field, a stand-up triple. Got
those odd angles off that fence in left center where it curves, and I think that confused Lagares a little bit. So it's a 2-0 Marlin lead. Ozuna's at third and nobody out. The Mets have the infield back with Jared Saltalamacchia, the batter, and he takes a strike. Saltalamacchia at 228, 11 home runs.
Pretty straight up on the defense. David Wright playing way off the line at third base, allowing Ozuna to go down as far as he wants to.
Somewhat of a disappointing year for Saltalamacchia, who toted a World Series ring with him to Miami. Hitting just 184 with runners in scoring position. He struggled at times defensively as well. And the curveball from Wheeler for a strike, 1-2.
It was a strange offseason because Saltalamacchia got a big contract after not playing in the World Series. I mean, he was replaced by David Ross, who caught the majority of the ball games. Lost his position as a starter and still got the big contract.
It's a position that the Marlins have had trouble filling over the years. They had Pudge Rodriguez for a short time. Before that, they had Charles Johnson, who they thought was going to be the long-term answer. But they felt as though they needed a player of Saltalamacchia's stature to join a relatively young team.
It's kind of like a Worth move, like they were Jason Worth, who went to the Nationals, his winning kind of label. They thought the same thing with Saltalamacchia.
And to work with the young pitching staff as well. Saltalamacchia down on strikes, and Wheeler has the first out of the inning, his second strikeout. Looks like those last couple of fastballs to Saltalamacchia, he finally dialed it up.
Well, the thing about Saltalamacchia, he loves the ball away and down, and he challenged him upstairs, which is the key.
So 1 out. Now the number 8 hitter, Danny Echeverria. Now the Mets will bring the infield in. Echeverria hitting at 273, his best offensive season.
He is not afraid to bunt in this situation. He's done it before.
Pitcher Alvarez, one of the better hitting pitchers in the National League, waiting on deck. It's very odd to be starting a series with a day game. It almost never happens unless you're playing in Chicago. And in the case of the Marlins, it must feel especially strange because they had a road trip that just finished. They went to Colorado, Anaheim, and Atlanta, and they played a 5 o'clock game in Atlanta yesterday. Wow. So a 9-game road trip. They come home 3-6, and then didn't get home until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they turn around and play a day game today. That's it's not a great schedule.
Well, Tony Clark and Major League Baseball are going to have to fix that, because if you're trying to put your best product in the field, you can't have guys going to bed at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I did a game earlier this year where the Dodgers got into Milwaukee at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you can't do it.
I mean, the Mets at least played a 1 o'clock game at home yesterday, and sometimes it's easier when you're coming on the road for those short turnarounds. You go home, you got family, you got laundry, you got all sorts of stuff going on. So I thought it was interesting that the Braves were allowed to schedule that game at 5 o'clock yesterday instead of playing 1 o'clock.
They've done it a couple times with the Mets on getaway days, night games.
0-2 to Echeverria, and he just got a piece of that fastball.
Honey, can you walk the dog? Seriously? I mean, come on.
Swing. He went around on the breaking ball in the dirt. Darno slaps the tag on Echeverria. Strike 3. So after the triple by Ozuna, Wheeler with back-to-back strikeouts.
Interesting. The manager for the Marlins, Redmond, is yelling at Mark Wegner, like, at least check with the first base umpire. Don't call that on your own.
More and more we've seen home plate umpires making that call on their own. So Wheeler with a chance to limit the damage after giving up a leadoff walk and then a run scoring triple, back-to-back strikeouts, but now he still has to contend with Alvarez, who has 10 hits this year. He's a lifetime .247 hitter, not your average pitcher. Takes a weak hack at that, though. 0-1. Maybe a liar on that swing.
It's interesting when you see Alvarez, the Marlins uniform is kind of black shoes, or supposed to be black shoes with that uniform, but his shoes are almost completely white. Oakland A's style.
Joe Willie Namath.
Anyone my age, if you played football, you tried to get those white bridles that Joe Namath had, because that was the sign that you could play. Even if you couldn't, you wanted those bridles.
At least you have to be able to do a touchdown dance like Billy White Shoes Johnson.
There's a better swing there, Gary.
Henderson, White Shoes, Alvarez. Well, you already saw him style on that ground ball by Duda.
I mean, good swing here. Just a little late. Time to break out the breaking ball, I think, for Zach.
Alvarez spent the first part of his career in Toronto, so didn't get to swing the bat much. Trying to make up for lost time with Miami. Ozuna at 3rd and 2 out, 1-2 to Alvarez. And he comes up and in, and Alvarez able to chase that one away.
You know, we were talking earlier about Zach Wheeler, how he just went to his chest and then he changed and went over his head in the windup. One thing I'd like to eliminate that he does, watch when he's in the stretch where the ball position is. He twirls that baseball in his hand behind his back. That's something you want to stop, because that ball could fall out at any time.
Gets him with the slider. 3 straight strikeouts for Wheeler, and he pins Ozuna at 3rd. Marlins get a run, but no more, and lead 2-0 after 2. TV featuring pitch-by-pitch coverage, player cards, and in-depth stats. Check out SNY Game Day on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports.
That's a We Are Devo music right there. Go funk with that.
I can't get me no. Dilson Herrera leads off in the 3rd inning. His 4th big league game. So Friday he played his first game. Saturday he got his first hit. Yesterday he got his first RBI, and it wound up being a difference maker. Now facing Henderson Alvarez, he takes up and away for ball 1. Herrera 2 for 9 to start his big league stint. Wilmer Flores on deck, then Zach Wheeler. And Herrera lifts one to deep left field. Back goes Yelich to the warning track near the wall. It's out of here! Dilson Herrera's first major league home something new. Herrera, who hit 13 home runs in the minor leagues this year. He's only about 5'9", 160 pounds, but he can pack a punch. And his home run puts the Mets down 2-1.
When I see him swing the bat like that, Gary, it reminds me of Edgar Renteria and his swing and the follow through. Renteria was a guy who didn't have tremendous power, but could hit home runs occasionally. Same kind of swing here by Herrera. So on this afternoon, he hits him as far as Giancarlo Stanton. Very simple swing. No stride. It's quick from the top of the arc of that bat to the ball.
Line the other way and over the glove of Garrett Jones, and Wilmer Flores has himself a base hit.
Flores had 3 hits in yesterday's game, right? So not as impressive as Herrera's hit, of course. Jammed, but muscles it into right field.
So after Alvarez had gone perfectly through the first 2 innings, back-to-back hits, a home run for Herrera, a single for Flores, and now Wheeler, who has more sacrifice bunts than any pitcher in the National League, will look for his 12th. And takes the pitch low for ball 1. So when you see a guy like a Herrera, who's just a little guy, let's face it, he's 5'9", 160 at best, doesn't have a big stride. How does he generate so much power?
Quick bat speed. I bet you if you measured his bat speed with anyone on the Mets team, he would be up there. That's the whole key for little guys hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Alvarez going to second, not in time. I'm not sure if Alvarez did that on his own or if somebody told him to, but he had no chance to get Flores on that well-placed bunt by Wheeler. And the Mets wind up with 2 men aboard.
Well, a couple things happen here. Bad judgment here by Alvarez. If you have to run this far, there's no play at second. But you know what? He almost embarrassed Wilmer Flores because throwing that ball to second. Watch Flores. No slide. I mean, come on, guys. I know it's a day game after night game, but you got to go in hard and you got to hit the dirt.
He was slowing up, too.
Very lucky that he was not embarrassed.
Will score at a sacrifice fielder's choice. So the Mets with a big break there, first and second and nobody out. And now Lagares the batter. One grounded out to short his first time up. What could Alvarez have been thinking there? Because you know, he almost got lucky because Flores didn't run the bases well.
Well, the thing is that Alvarez is a tremendous athlete. You talked about his hitting. He's a tremendous fielder also. You're a sinker ball pitcher. Most pitchers are good athletes because you got to field your position. So sometimes it works against you. You think you can pull off anything. And he almost did there, but he, instead of taking the 1 out, he didn't get any.
Slowly hit. Echeverria will go to second with it. Gets the out there. The turn by Solano not quite in time. Very close play at first, but Lagares beat the wrap. So they get the 6-4 force for the first out.
So funny, all the players are looking into Mike Redmond. I thought that this was worthy of him at least coming out. Very close play at first base. But Lagares beat it.
Toby Basner, the young first base umpire, making the call, and it appears correctly so. So the tying run at third, first and third and 1 out, and Curtis Granderson will try and get the run in. Curtis rounded out his first time up. Worth noting here that in all the difficulties Granderson has had, he's the only full-time player in the National League who has not grounded into a double play this year. Right? This is a situation where Alvarez is a sinker ball pitcher looking for a double play to get out of the inning, and this is a guy who has 478 at bats without grounding into a double play all year.
I'm always amazed because I don't do all the games, so I miss a few games and I come back and you still have that stat. So it's worked all year. And Curtis, when he hits the baseball, it's usually in the air anyway. wonder if Bobby Parnell has that Herrera baseball that was hit for a home run.
He's probably defacing a different ball. That's what they'll often do with the rookies, and present them with a ball that has scribbling on it.
I've seen it before where a guy like Herrera is not a home run hitter. They'll put on the ball, your only home run, and they'll put the date.
Alvarez behind 2-0, and Granderson takes low ball 3. So Alvarez helped dig a hole for himself with that ill-advised try at second base, and now the Mets trying to cash in against him. David Wright waiting on deck. Granderson 11 of 18 this year, getting a runner in from third and less than 2 out. That's 61%. That's good. And he takes a strike, 3-1.
It's good, but to me, does that seem like a small sample? 18 shots at it over the course of a year?
Well, Duda's at 26, Murphy's at 21, Wright's at 29. So, yeah, that's less than those guys. Granderson fouls it off, now full count. Well, if you've got a guy at the plate who doesn't ground into double plays but does strike out, does that mean that you don't put Lagares in motion here? Because normally you would in this kind of a spot.
You would, but I don't think you can here. Because you want to ensure that if he does strike out, you got David Wright up with 2 outs.
First and third and 1 out. Lagares not running, and Granderson tries to hold the swing, and he fouls it off.
Also, by holding Lagares there, you're not running him. You got to hold him on at first base. That opens up a little bit of that hole between Jones and Solano.
Not the full shift by the Marlins, who also didn't put on the full shift against Duda his first time up. So a little different defensive philosophy. 3-2, and Granderson takes ball 4. They check the half swing. He did not, and the Mets have the bases loaded for David Wright. So the first walk given up by Alvarez is one of the best controlled pitchers in the league. Just 1.7 walks per 9 innings.
And you mentioned that Curtis had not hit into a double play. It's been a little different story for David this year.
David's hit into 22 double plays. Only Casey McGee of the Marlins has grounded into more. David in a spot where he needs to elevate. Flores at third, Lagares at second, Granderson at first and 1 out. Mets have a run home on the Dilson Herrera home run. Wright has done wonderfully in these spots. 21 of 29 this year. That's 72%. Getting a runner in from third with less than 2 out. And David hits a rocket into center field for a base hit. Flores into the tying run. Here comes Lagares. He will score. The throw is all the way into the dugout, and Granderson will be awarded home plate. 3 runs will score on the play, and the Mets lead 4-2. Marcell Ozuna airmailing a throw all the way into the Marlins dugout as David Wright drives in a pair, and the Mets have a 2-run lead.
Well, we know in watching Ozuna that he has an unbelievable arm. You know what happened to him here? He was coming home all the way and decided at the last minute to go to third base. So that late decision cost him any accuracy on that throw.
So Wright, who had gone 14 games without an RBI until yesterday, drives in a pair, and a 3rd run scores on the error by Ozuna. Meanwhile, Mike Redmond out to the mound. Has some concerns apparently about Henderson Alvarez. Has got the trainer out there with him as well.
Well, I think that it might have happened when he was trying to back up the bases there. A lot of times you'll back up home, and then you have to avert and try to back up third base at some point. And Alvarez might have tweaked something, or it looked like he tweaked something.
And he is coming out of the game. So Henderson Alvarez will be forced to exit in the 3rd inning. He was perfect for the first 2, but anything but perfect here in the 3rd. He made an unwise play on a bunt, and the Mets fully able to cash in, and Alvarez's afternoon is done.
Well, we watched after that display. I mean, manager is pardon the pun, red hot is Redmond right now.
So the relief pitcher will get as long as he needs to warm up, with Alvarez apparently leaving because of injury. The Mets have scored 4 runs here in the 3rd inning. They lead 4-2. We'll be right back to Miami. Tomorrow night, John Neese goes against Brad Penny, the once and present Marlin. And then Jacob deGrom goes Wednesday night against Tom Kohler. Here's your Verizon trivia question for this afternoon. Who holds the Marlins single season home run record? Well, left-hander Brad Hand, who's been in the rotation for the Marlins the last couple of months, now back in the bullpen, and he'll be the long man with Alvarez leaving because of injury. Yeah, he's been back and forth, as Gary said. You see his numbers on the season. He's a little bit like the left-handed Alvarez. He doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, mostly a ground ball pitcher. He was in line to pitch tomorrow night, and the Marlins were undecided about who to start, and they decided to go with Penny, who's made a couple of starts since coming back to Miami. And so Hand, who began the year in the pen, is back there now, and he'll come in to face Lucas Duda. So Alvarez went 2 1/3, allowed 3 hits and 4 runs so far. A walk, a strikeout, a home run, and responsible for David Wright at second base. What an odd inning this has been. Oh, I mean, really poorly played in so many different fashions, whether by Alvarez on the bunt and Flores on the non-slide and Ozuna that horrible throw. But the Mets able to cash in with a 4-run inning and looking for more with 1 out. Duda hit a comebacker his first time up. Meanwhile, lost in all that, it's really nice to see David Wright pick up a couple of big hits the last 2 days. You know, he had the same kind of hit yesterday on a fastball from Burnett, back up through the middle. And you know he's been working on that. Anyone that's in a slump, you try to work the middle of the field. And David's done it twice in a row. He takes a big lead, and he's taking off for third, and he'll steal third base standing up. Got an enormous walking lead against Hand, who paid him no mind, and David has his 7th steal of the year. I mean, half the people that are playing this ball game today are asleep. Ozuna throws it in the dugout. Hand's not paying attention. Shortstop and second baseman aren't holding David close.
Alvarez throws to second base on a bunt. Flores doesn't slag and keep going.
Infield comes in now. 1-1 the count to Duda. Well, you know what the problem is. We gave the Marlins an excuse. We talked about how difficult their road trip and coming home from the night game last night in Atlanta and playing it. So they hurt us. 2-1 to Duda.
I'll tell you, Redmond's red hot. You can't have what happened as a manager with your pitcher without being red hot.
Curveball in for a strike to Duda. Well, we'll try and find out what happened with Alvarez and when it happened. I mean, it could have happened on the bunt when he twisted his body to throw to second. Could have happened on a pitch. Could have happened on the backup, as you said. Full count to Duda. Well, here's Alvarez's exit.
He said, "I'm fine, I'm ready to go." He slams it in Redmond's hand. It's one thing you just cannot do ever as a pitcher. Not once you're allowed to do that.
Well, we saw a couple of incidents recently with the Phillies with Ryan Sandberg, with both Kyle Kendrick and Cole Hamels. A little bit disrespectful in situations like that. Duda pulls one foul. And you were in Washington with the Frank Robinson Tomooka incident,
where Frank called him back to the mound and made him give the ball back to him again. Hey, listen, there's 1,000 reasons I could never be a manager, the number one competency, but I could not sit there. I would have to go in the locker room and we'd have to talk about it right away.
Again, the 3-2, and he struck him out with a breaking ball, so Duda unable to get the runner in from third. And Hand has a strikeout of the first batter he faces.
I played for a manager, Tony La Russa, who used to write things down, and he had a 24-hour rule, kind of. If he was still mad 24 hours later, he would address it. But I certainly am not from that school. I would have to get in that locker room and call Mr. Alvarez over and say, "Listen, what were you thinking there? Like, I need an explanation for that. Because if not, maybe you don't make any more starts this year, son."
Travis d'Arnaud, the 8th man up in the inning. 4 runs are home for the Mets here in the 3rd, and Hand misses outside. Are you better off, though, waiting for the pitcher to cool down before you have that confrontation as opposed to waiting until later?
Absolutely. I mean, in this world where we're trying to be better people, absolutely. But sometimes it gets you. I mean, it's gotten to me, and I'm not even involved.
Nice stop by Saltalamacchia to keep right at third.
But the real, I guess, the answer to the question I'm asking is that it's a different game now. Guys are making money where I don't know if the manager has the power to be able to do those kind of things, to be able to pull a Gil Hodges and go out to the field and pull a player off the field. I don't think those days are gone. There'd have to be 4 meetings before anything like that happened.
Hand behind on d'Arnaud, 3-0. You got the left-hand hitter Dendecker on deck.
Gotta let him swing here.
And Travis does, and hits the comebacker. And Hand makes the play to end the inning. So Hand comes in, gets a couple of outs after the Mets scored 4. Starting with Dilson Herrera's first major league home run. It comes in his 10th at bat. The Mets score 3 more and lead 4-2 in the middle of the 3rd. have had great pitching. Marlins have averaged just 2.5 runs per game in those 13 contests. That's coming into the game today.
So Mr. Matt beats Billy the Marlin. Is that what you're saying?
Every time. Unless Billy can maneuver that that nose of his, you know, to puncture Mr. Matt.
Lethal.
Yeah. So Zach Wheeler handed a 2-run lead. Comes out for the bottom of the third to face Christian Yelich. And fires a fastball for a strike. Yelich grounded out his first time up. And the curveball in for a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, the Marlins' young outfield has the best combined OPS, on base plus slugging, of any outfield in the major leagues.
Yelich is 22, Ozuna's 23, Stanton's 24.
So they're producing now, and certainly bodes well for the future of this young Miami team to have that trio together. Question is, can they keep that trio together, particularly with Stanton, who the free agent after next season?
I believe so.
And recently made a comment that would certainly give a Marlins fan pause. He was asked whether the success that Marlins have had this year, and they've certainly had a lot better year this year than they had last year, would lead him to be more likely to re-up with Miami and sign a long-term deal. And what he said was, 5 months doesn't negate 5 years.
Ouch.
Yeah.
He listen, he's a Southern California kid. The team in white and blue is going to come knocking at some point. He knows that if he stays healthy, you know, he's going to deserve a contract that, you know, Robinson Cano just signed. That kind of dollars, those kinds of years.
At least.
Right?
I mean, what he brings to the table right now is the hardest thing in baseball to find. Pure power and run production.
He could be the first $30 million a year player.
Well, at his age, when he becomes a free agent, if he does, he will be as valuable a free agent as there's ever been since Alex Rodriguez went on the market the first time, because he was of a similar age and a similar level of production relative to the rest of the league. So it's going to be fascinating over the next 6 months before next season to see if something happens, and the next season as well, to see whether the Marlins are able to re-up him, and if they don't, whether they try and cash in while they can.
Well, that's the thing. If what he is saying, 5 months doesn't make up for 5 years, is not a bluff, you've got to be able to read that if you're the Marlins and say to yourself, you know what, we're not going to be able to sign this kid, so why don't we go out and get 6 players for him, because that's what he'll command. You could get 4, 5, 6 players for him,
even if it's only for 1 year. If you're renting him for 2015, you're going to have to give up a hefty package just for that 1 year. Wheeler strikes out Yelich after a nice battle. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts now for Wheeler.
Beautiful curveball from Zach.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Donovan Solano, who struck out on 3 pitches his first time up.
Got to be irritating for a fan, isn't it, when you have a homegrown player that comes around once in a lifetime and you might not be able to keep him.
Well, the other option is for the Marlins to break the bank and use Green to convince him that this is the place to be. And the thing about it is that, you know, regardless of you know what Giancarlo said in that quote, this is a team that appears to be heading in the right direction in terms of their talent level. They broke everything down after it didn't work their first season in this ballpark under Ozzie Guillen, and they brought back a lot of good young talent, and we've seen some of it come to fruition this year. I mean, whether it's Henderson Alvarez or Danny Echeverria, I mean, they've got a lot of young players whom they've either nurtured through their system or they've acquired in trade. And with the 2 guys next to him in the outfield, that's got to be encouraging as well. 2-2 now to Solano.
I mean, they had an embarrassment of riches in the outfield. They were able to trade Jake Marisnick this summer. So
2-2, and Solano lays off the curveball. Full count. Well, the Marlins certainly well ahead of where they were last year. 16.5 games better entering September than they were a year ago. So it gives you an idea of the kind of progress they've made. And remember, they played most of this year without their most important player other than Stanton, Jose Fernandez, last year's National League Rookie of the Year, who they certainly expect to have back for most of next season.
Well, it's not like they've not gone through this before. Remember, they had a young player, Miguel Cabrera, that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to keep, and they traded him to Detroit for the farm. But they didn't get a lot or as much as they should have in return.
Solano is hit by the pitch, and so he'll go to first base.
Fastball seemed to hit him in the forearm and then carry him and hit d'Arnaud.
May have been off on one of our pieces of information about Stanton. According to the numbers that I'm looking at here, he is not going to be able to be a free agent until after the 2016 season.
2010 was his first year, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't up for the full season.
Oh, okay.
So he's a 3+ player going into this year. He'll be a 4+ player after this year.
Okay.
So he'll have 2 more years till free agency. So that changes the equation a little bit.
That's my bad. I thought he was after next year.
So here's Stanton, who drilled his 34th home run his first time up. 34 home runs, 99 RBIs. It was only his second hit in 13 career at-bats against Wheeler. Solano at first and 1 out. Stanton the tying run at the plate in a 4-2 game. Zach darts one inside. 2-0.
I don't know if you get the full weight of it at home, folks, but Giancarlo Stanton is about put together as well as any ball player that's ever played this game. 6'6", 225 pounds, lean muscle.
Long fly ball. Lagares gets turned around but finds it and makes the grab. And back to first goes Solano.
I mean, he's one of the few guys in baseball that if you're in line for a hot dog, you come back to just watch his at bat. You have to watch him. Interesting reaction when he got to first base, because I'm sure he's missed about 10 home runs to center field here. Look at this reaction. So sick of this place. 405 feet away. F8.
Not even close. Well, that's one Wheeler got away with, a 2-0 slider right in the middle of the plate. So he'll be happy to have that baseball back in his hand to face Casey McGee with Solano at first and 2 out. McGee grounded out his first time up and takes inside for ball 1.
And that's the other factor, isn't it, for Stanton? We saw it with Nelson Cruz this winter when he was deciding where to go. Go to a ballpark where that's a home run, not an F8.
Imagine Stanton playing in Baltimore.
Oh.
Up the middle. Herrera can't make the diving stop. A base hit for McGee. And the Marlins have 2 men on.
Good try here by the young Herrera, but ball hit way too hard by McGee. Kind of beats him to the spot. Herrera in there now to talk to Solano. Okay, where's the best Colombian food here?
Say Edgar Renteria or Orlando Cabrera. Maybe one of them says Julio Teheran. Here's Garrett Jones, who walked and scored his first time up, tying runs on base with 2 out, as Wheeler, on a day when he does not seem on top of his game, tries to slog his way through. Speaking of Julio Teheran, he's pitching this afternoon for the Braves against the Phillies and Cole Hamels.
A lot of afternoon games today, right, Darren?
Labor Day. Big day for day baseball. Anyway, the Phillies are up 1-0 on Teheran and the Braves in the fourth. The Braves just beat the Marlins last night. 1-0 behind Alex Wood. Atlanta's now won 11 of 15, and they're still in it somehow, despite everything the Nats have done the last month. 6 games behind, and a game and a half out in the wild card.
It's interesting that you brought up that not on top of his game today is Wheeler. We just saw a week ago Adam Wainwright talking about having a tired arm. This is the time of year where sometimes that can happen. What's a tired arm? It's just the redundancy of making all those starts and just mentally being fatigued at times. A lot of times when you say you have a tired arm, you think it's your arm. It's not. You're mentally fatigued. You're probably throwing like you have all season long, but it just doesn't feel like you're getting that extra on the baseball.
And that's all part of the extra month of the major league season and finding a way to get yourself through that 6th month, right?
Yep. I mean, it's it's going to be 6 more starts here maybe for Zach.
2-1 to Garrett Jones, and the curveball in for a strike. 2-2.
The weird thing about baseball is that you can be having, we talked about it with Casey McGee, great first half, he's not been able to drive any runs. You can have a bad September and it can change your whole year, or a good September and it can make it better. But Zach is 9-9. I'm sure he wants to finish with 13, 14 wins at some point.
Two out, 2 on, 2-2 to Jones. And the curveball sits high in a full count with Marcell Ozuna waiting on deck. 71 pitches already in the 3rd inning for Wheeler. Solano at second, McGee at first. They'll be off with the pitch. Three-2 to Jones. Pulled. Herrera to his left, bobbles, recovers, throws, not in time. Bases loaded. Well, it's the 2nd error for Herrera in his first 4 big league games, and they've both been on similar plays.
Yeah, both to the same spot, to his left. Didn't take really a great angle on that baseball. He could have given himself more room, taking this ball a little deeper, because Jones is not a fast runner. Instead, he cuts it off quickly, and it got on him quickly. And that, I think, is the reason for the muff.
So, just when it looked like Wheeler might have gotten himself through this bottom of the 3rd, he finds himself in a jam with the bases loaded, 2 out, and Marcell Ozuna coming up, and Dan Warthen trying to settle things down.
I don't know if you guys at home saw that, but just a gentle touch by David Wright there to Herrera to reassure him, hey, it's all right, kid, we're going to get you out of this thing. Those are the kind of things mean a lot to you as a player when you make a mistake.
Well, he's 20 years old. His bat got him to the major leagues. And we saw the play yesterday with the pop-up where Herrera had Wright bail him out, and play there where he might be hanging his head a little bit. As David said after the game yesterday, he said that's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that he doesn't hang his head, that he does learn every day. And you're going to have mistakes from young players, and you try and help them through it. So now Wheeler will try and pick up his second baseman with the bases loaded and 2 out. Ozuna hit a bullet that short hopped the wall in left center for a triple his first time up. And he takes the fastball for ball 1. A hit batsman, a single, and an error loading the bases here in the bottom of the 3rd after the Mets put up a 4 spot in the top of the inning. To Ozuna. Well, the Mets are going to have some early action in their bullpen. Carlos Torres getting ready.
With the extra arms, you're allowed to get people up early if your pitcher doesn't seem like he has it. What, 73, 74 pitches in here for Wheeler.
Well, one starter has already exited the game. Wheeler trying to hang around in this one. Just got a medical report on Henderson Alvarez. He left with a left oblique strain. What a stop by d'Arnaud. That ball appeared ticketed for the backstop.
Well, sometimes you do everything right, and sometimes it's just sheer luck. Bouncing, breaking ball, doesn't go down the block. It kind of picks it like a third baseman.
Bases loaded, 2 out, 2-1 to Marcell Ozuna. And he jammed him. And Ozuna, if he hadn't swung at him, might have gotten hit by him.
I think he fouled it off his back leg, which is almost impossible to do. Let's see. Yeah, he did, right off his right quad.
So now it's 2-2 to Ozuna with Saltalamacchia on deck. Wheeler 30 pitches deep into this third inning. Gets Ozuna on strikes to end it. And Ozuna fires the bat away in frustration. 6 strikeouts for Wheeler as he somehow finds his way through that third. Still 4-2 New York. Eager to see from the Mets in September as they look forward to the 2015 season. Hashtag SNY tweet. I know what Met fans are looking forward to most. They're looking forward to a September where they don't have to look forward to the next season.
There you go. September that leads to an October. Exactly. That's what you're looking forward to. Listen, if you have a good tweet, and I mean a real good one, so put your brain power into it, I'll follow you. How about that?
What does that mean?
That means that I'm secret on Twitter.
Oh,
like
I see. Follow in a Twitterverse.
Yeah.
Twitterverse.
Yes, exactly.
Matt Dendecker swings at the first pitch and lines a one-hopper to the ball boy. Nice grab. Strike one.
Just trying to get some folks away from the barbecue. That's all.
Brad Hand came into the final 2 outs in the third after Henderson Alvarez was forced to leave with an oblique injury. So Hand working in long relief today. curveball, 2-1. Dendecker, Herrera, and Flores for the Mets in the fourth. Herrera, who homered his first big league home run in his first at bat today. And Dendecker tops one. In comes Jones. The quick flip, not in time. Dendecker beat it. Well, Jones might have been better advised to charge that ball a little harder, but he waited on it, and he waited too long.
What he needed to do is charge it and then sprint over and dive at the bag. You can't do a transfer there. Charge it as hard as you can, and then as soon as you catch it, dive for the first base bag. No chance. Good speed by Dendecker. You know, two of the veterans that they signed in the offseason were Casey McGee, who really had a tremendous first half, and Garrett Jones. And Jones has been a little bit of a disappointment.
So here is Herrera with Dendecker at first. Herrera hit his first major league home run against Henderson Alvarez in the third. Now facing the left-hander Hand, and he takes a strike.
Just fastball right there on the outside part. He knew it as soon as he hit it.
He hit that home run like a guy who's hit him before. 13 minor league home runs this year. Ball and a strike to Herrera. So that made Dilson Herrera the youngest Met to hit a home run since Jose Reyes, who did it as a 20-year-old in 2003 in Anaheim. He had a grand slam for his first big league home run just days after being called up. Jose was called up the day before he turned 20, so he was technically a teenager in the big leagues when they called him up in Texas in 03. And then the Mets road trip continued in Anaheim, and that's where he hit the grand slam.
I thought you were going to say Jose Oquendo when you started. He was a 19-year-old when he came up with the Mets.
Did he ever homer?
Not exactly.
Daniel Murphy is with the Mets here in Miami, and when the Mets leave, he'll go to Port St. Lucie to continue his rehab on his strained calf. Of course, it's Murph's injury that's given Herrera the opportunity to play. Double play ball. The turn by Solano, handled by Jones. 5-4-3 double play.
A hard slide by Dendecker. I don't know who got the worst of it, Donovan Solano or Dendecker.
Matt walking slowly as he comes off the field. The ball handcuffed Jones, and he was able to catch it anyway.
Well, I like the hard play, hard-nosed play here by Dendecker. Goes right after Solano, clips his foot.
Ray Ramirez, the trainer, there to greet him. So 2 out and nobody on. That Wilmer Flores, who had a base hit and scored a run in the third. Poked one the other way over Jones's head. So after a 3-hit day yesterday, Flores with a hit his first time up today. So 6 hits in his last 11 at bats. Things starting to look up for Wilmer, who also made 2 terrific defensive plays late in the game yesterday.
He really did game savers, to tell you the truth, and that's why it was interesting listening to Terry Collins today. He said, boy, but he looks a lot more comfortable at second base than he does at shortstop.
The double play that he and Herrera turned yesterday on Ryan Howard, I don't think I've ever seen a double play turned like that before.
To be able to field that ball in short right field, make that long throw, and have, I thought it was a courageous. Flores just stayed in there and took the leg whip of Chase Utley.
The only thing that worked in the Mets' favor there was the fact that Utley looked like he was anticipating going to third. He was kind of curling at second instead of going straight in, and that might have been the only way that Flores was able to make the play.
I think he assumed that Herrera was going to go to first base with that baseball. Interesting swing by Flores there. I was talking about Herrera's bat speed. There was no bat speed on that swing.
1-2 to Flores, low and away with a fastball.
And when you think about it, Gary, it might have been a young person's mistake to even go to second base there. You know, I mean, most second basemen wouldn't take that chance, but he did, and it worked out. And plus, Ryan right now is just he never runs fast, Ryan Howard, but there's some days that's a challenge for him to get it going.
Flores lifts one to center, and Ozuna drifts over. That retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th in Miami with the Mets ahead 4-2. Season home run leader. Not yet Giancarlo Stanton. Soon. Gary Sheffield hit 46 the year before the Marlins won their first World Series. You think back sometimes to that 97 Marlins team that won it all, and think about all the talent that they managed to accumulate on that team. Devon White, Gary Sheffield, Darren Daulton, Bobby Bonilla, Edgar Renteria, on and on. Al Leiter, Alex Fernandez, Kevin Brown, Rob Nen. That was a great team. It really was. It was only the 5th year of an expansion team, and they were able to put all that together. And then they sold it all off when they were done. 2-0 to Saltalamacchia, leading off the home for it. Saltalamacchia struck out his first time up. Did I mention Moises Alou?
The man could still get 3 hits in a game today.
Right now, yeah. You wake him out of bed, 3 line drives. Just a matter of whether he could walk to home plate.
That's right.
Marlins won it all in '97, and they won it all again in 2003.
Was Levon the MVP of both the League Championship Series and the World Series?
He had come up late that year. I think he went 9-1 in the regular season. Levon Hernandez
struck out 16 Braves in the League Championship Series.
Yeah, well, Eric Gregg was helpful in that regard.
It's in the books.
Yes, it is. 2-2 from Wheeler, and Saltalamacchia takes it up and away, and yet another full count for Zach Wheeler. Already his 5th full count of the afternoon. That's why he's over 80 pitches in the 4th inning. He will be happy just to get through 5 with a lead today.
It's like he has a platter of food, which equals a win, and no knife and fork. I mean, you just can't get it going.
Three and 2 to Saltalamacchia with Echeverria on deck and the pitcher spot behind him. Wheeler finally nods agreement. And Saltalamacchia takes the fastball outside, and it's a leadoff walk. Second time in 4 innings that Wheeler's walked the leadoff hitter. Echeverria will come to bat, and up to the plate for us, Kevin Burkhardt. Kevin?
Well, Gary, you don't need good chemistry necessarily to win. Probably the Dodgers are proof of that right about now. But it certainly helps, especially when you have a young team. And it's been fun to watch in the clubhouse. Zach Wheeler and Jacob deGrom, 2 of the younger guys who have developed a nice friendship. I talked to them both about it and what they get out of that. And Zach said, I think in a lot of ways we have the same outlook. We don't take things too seriously. Sometimes you got to remember you're playing a game and that we're young and you should have fun with it. And I think we try to do that. He said, we share ideas. We go out, we talk pitching, we talk philosophy. He said, but we just goof around. We have these silly little games that we play with each other. Just have fun, make it loose. He said, we don't necessarily eat the healthiest. He said, Jacob is a guy who loves Mountain Dews. He'll crush those. I'm a sour Skittles guy, which, by the way, those are fantastic if you ever had them. So the difference, though, lies on the days they pitch. Gary?
The flip from Flores, the turn by Herrera. Got him! Double play! Well, one thing Herrera has shown he will do, he will hang in on the double play. With Saltalamacchia coming at him, he turns it over 6-4-3.
See the play at the end here, the stretch by Duda. Just barely gets Echeverria at first base. What I like about it is that these guys have taken to each other. They've got a nice chemistry, and it's resulted in tons of double plays in the last 10 days.
Well, the Mets are a team that left a lot of double plays on the table earlier in the year, but they've now turned 9 in their last 6 games.
So just to finish, guys, the one difference between these guys is when they pitch. Wheeler is completely locked in when he pitches. When he comes in the dugout, he doesn't talk to anybody, doesn't want to talk to anybody. deGrom is a complete opposite. He said, unless I have an awful inning, I like to come in, I joke around, and I will talk with Zach a lot about what he's seeing. We share a lot of ideas during the game. He said, when Zach's pitching, he barely even looks at me. It's a little bit different during game time.
Everyone manages their nerves differently. Some it's retreating and being very quiet, and some just have to be chatterboxes. I remember Frank Viola was like that, one of the great left-handers. He used to always love to chat in between innings.
Wheeler picks up his 7th strikeout in the first 4 innings, and that gets him through the bottom of the 4th with a 4-2 lead in Miami. As they get ready to open their season against the Raiders with a constant flow of up-to-the-minute news and opinion, plus fan discussions, player profiles, and exclusive video on Jets blog featured on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports.
So I know you'll know this answer. Where is that ball game?
That's home.
Okay.
All right. Sunday, 1 o'clock.
Busy.
MetLife Stadium. We have a game.
Yes.
Week 5. I'll be all over.
Skyline chili for you on Sunday?
No, but I will be in Cincinnati. Zach Wheeler leads off in the 5th inning. Wheeler sacrificed and reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd. That was just a mistake by the starter Henderson Alvarez that helped open the door to a 4-run inning for the Mets. And Wheeler, despite some hiccups, has made it stand up to this point. His biggest problem will be getting deeper into the game. He's already thrown 89 pitches in the first 4 innings. Brad Hand has worked an inning and 2/3 in relief of Alvarez, and he gets a strike over. Alvarez charged with 4 runs, 3 earned on 3 hits in 2 1/3 before leaving with an oblique injury. Wheeler with a good cut, 2-2. Juan Lagares on deck, and then Curtis Granderson for the Mets in the 5th. Now the 2-2. Struck him out on a high fastball. Second strikeout for Brad Hand. So 1 out. Juan Lagares coming up. Well, 12 years ago today, something really wonderful happened to me. The love of my life agreed to marry me.
Nice.
And we've been in blissful marriage for 12 years ever since. The only problem was we were so happy to get married that we forgot that getting married during the baseball season might mean that we would be in different places on our anniversary. So I want to wish my wife Lynn a very happy anniversary and apologize again for not being there.
Happy anniversary. Rookie move by both you guys.
I mean, it really was. Lagares into shallow center, and Ozuna won't get there, and he's got himself a blue pit. I mean, that's really dumb, right?
It's like having your birthday during the season. Like today's the end of summer, Labor Day. There's no holidays during the summer.
It's the only thing we didn't get right in the marriage.
There you go.
So if that's the only thing in 12
good.
years that we didn't get right, I think we've done okay.
I think with my marriage, it depends on who's making the list. If it's me, everything's I think hunky dory. I can't speak for the other part.
Here's Granderson, who walked and scored in the 3rd. 0 for 1 on the day, and he takes a fastball for a strike.
So on your anniversary, we're all going to take Kevin Burkhardt out for a big league dinner tonight, because we're not going to.
It's the start of the long goodbye.
It is. Exactly.
With the longest farewell party in history.
He deserves it, every second of it. Plus our group, any reason to kind of get out there. Getting a little older, it's nice to have a reason to go out and have a big league dinner.
As long as we can stay awake for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Might be a nap required before it starts. 1-1 to Granderson. And he tries to hold, and he stopped it in time. Mike McClinsky with the call. Rarely seen these days.
They're screaming at McClinsky now because Wegner called it before on the Marlins from behind the plate, and now doesn't seem to be the same for both clubs, or at least the Marlins are arguing that.
There goes Lagares. Double clutch by Saltalamacchia, and he can't get rid of it. And Lagares has the stolen base, his 7th of the year.
Well, it should be a pretty good pitch to throw, but he didn't catch it right in the pocket, Saltalamacchia, so the transfer was not pure.
Well, we've been talking about Lagares and the fact that with his speed, he should be able to steal more bases, and lately, he's looking to.
Yeah, and that was kind of guesswork there, just going on first move. But, I mean, you can envision at some point he's a 20 stolen base guy a year.
He has one each of the last 2 days now. Granderson takes a cut. 3-2. David Wright waiting on deck. Mets with 4 runs and 5 hits. The Marlins 2 runs and 3 hits as we play in the 5th. To Granderson. Struck him out. Breaking ball by hand against Granderson. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in relief now for Hand.
Ball to the strike zone. Swung through by Granderson. Said that way too many times this year.
So 2 out. David Wright coming up. Let's check in with Kevin.
You know, you're talking about Lagares stealing bases, and I think Tom Goodwin is really a perfect guy to have as a first base coach. You know, he was talking to me the other day about Lagares and trying to get him to steal more. He said, look, take a look at Eric Young Jr. When he gets out here, now he's obviously an accomplished base stealer, but he gets out here, he's got this swag to him, this flair to him that he knows he's going to steal a base. But Lagares is still me getting down the crouch, coaxing him to go. He said, I want him to get to the point where he comes to first and is confident he's going to steal a base. But Goodwin's been there and done that. I think he's a good guy to mentor him.
David Wright takes it wide. Well, Tommy was a terrific base stealer in his own right.
I was trying to pull it up quickly for you folks. I don't know, but I know he has around 350 stolen bases. Goodwin was quite a player. You know, the thing about Lagares that I find interesting is that I don't know if any of us know his ceiling. I think he's going to be better defensively, offensively, and running the bases.
David Wright retired to end the inning. So Lagares stranded at second. We're halfway through on Labor Day in Miami. Mets 4, Marlins 2. The summer, but you know, this is Miami. It's always summer here.
Every day it's perfect.
Labor Day is just another day on the beach.
I was thinking maybe tomorrow at the beach. Water's so beautiful this time of year.
Just remember though,
what?
Tomorrow it's after Labor Day. You can't wear white.
Oh, geez, I had the seersucker shorts I was going to wear.
Christian Yelich leads off the 6th inning and takes a strike. Yelich is grounded out and struck out. So here's Wheeler. 90 pitches deep, trying to get through the 5th inning with the lead. 3rd time through the batting order. And Yelich takes outside, a ball and a strike. Meanwhile, in Atlanta right now, the Phillies lead the Braves 1-0 in the 6th. Cole Hamels is working on a no-hitter through 5. But he's thrown 92 pitches because he's walked 4.
He's got a Santana working.
For A.J. Burnett. What did A.J. walk 9 in his no-hitter against the Padres? That was for the Marlins.
Doc Ellis. He walked, I think, 8 in his no-hitter.
Yeah, but he had other stuff going. Two to Yelich with Solano and Stanton to follow. And now Hamels just got a hit, so he's now out-hit the Braves.
R.A. Dickey pitched a one-hitter for the Mets, and Hamels had the only hit.
Yes. Foul tipped, and Yelich is down on strikes.
It's a very strange game for Wheeler. He's thrown lots of pitches. He has not been dominant, but he's striking out the planet.
8 strikeouts through 4 1/3. 6th time this year he's had 8 or more strikeouts. He's had a high of 10 this season. Here's Donovan Solano, who struck out and then was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. That 3rd inning was the one that really jacked up the pitch count for Wheeler. A hit batsman, a single, then a 2-out error by Herrera. And Zach had to throw 31 pitches in that 3rd inning. Zach gave up a 1st inning home run to Giancarlo Stanton, a run-scoring triple to Ozuna in the 2nd. That one may go fair, and it stays foul long enough for d'Arnaud to get a piece of it. That ball was curling back toward fair territory, and wisely Solano was running it out, and d'Arnaud did well to get there before it got to the line.
Well, you know what's interesting about that play is usually you're always told swat that in foul territory, but it was becoming so urgent for Travis, he just wanted to get his glove on it. Oh, he kind of flipped it through his legs. That's why it went into fair territory. Maybe Murph has been working with him on that one.
Now Murph perfected that backwards behind the legs flip when he played first base. 1 out and nobody on. 0-1 the count, or 0-2 the count now to Solano with Stanton on deck. And the curveball bounced foul. This is a guy you really have to get. I mean, Stanton twice today has put a charge into one. One went out of the ballpark. One went 405 feet to center field. Looks like this may be a 5-and-fly day for Wheeler at best. That's hit down to 3rd, but right boots it. And so Solano is aboard. David backed up just a little bit, and that seemed to mess up his timing, and he commits the error.
It's been a sloppy game, sloppily played, and David on his heels. This is one of those errors that you never want to watch on the highlights, because there's about 8 things that David did wrong there. Ends up with the error.
14th error of the year for David Wright, and that gets Stanton to the plate as the tying run. It is 34th home run back in the 1st inning. Flied out deep to center in the 3rd. And now Wheeler at 100 pitches. Bullpen quiet. This is now the 12th straight game that Wheeler has thrown at least 100 pitches. So it's not like he's had one of those where they backed off him and took him out after 90 or 85. He's had a consistent workload, and when you talk about a little dead arm period, it could be part of it.
Well, a lot of these pitches under duress also as he comes inside to Stanton. Very interesting. He's gone with the heat against Stanton this at bat. Remember, hung a slider, which became a home run in the first at bat for Stanton. Hung another slider that he hit to deep center field. So it looks like he's trying to stay away from that pitch. See with d'Arnaud again with the sinking fastball. Shakes off to the slider.
And that's a better slider, and Stanton fouls it off 2-2.
You just have to stay away from the pitch that is down with middling speed, because it just makes his bat so much quicker.
Well, the Mets have had success with Stanton upstairs. You would think that's where they'd want to go here. Solano at first and 1 out. 2-2 coming.
Show me a power hitter, Gary. Sorry. You have to pitch them inside, because they all want to get extended. That's what separates them from the rest of the bunch. They get the extension, they will hit the ball in the ballpark. Where can they not get extension? Pitching them inside. Change up by Darno.
Low and in. Full count. Wheeler has walked 2. He struck out 8. Allowed 2 runs and 3 hits. But it has taken a lot of pitches to get to that point. 3-2. Solano at first. Not going. And Stanton hits another one deep. Dendecker back to the warning track and gets there for the out. Solano retraces his steps back to first. Well, Stanton has taken 3 big swings in this game. 1 home run and 2 long fly ball outs.
Well, he's having a historic day in a little smaller ballpark. This one, he crushes the left center. I thought when it left the bat, it was absolutely out of here. But it's a huge ballpark, and that's one of the deepest parts of the ballpark. And luckily for Wheeler and the Mets, it stayed in the ballpark.
You know what? It's a home run at Citi Field.
Yeah.
I mean, Citi Field's a big ballpark. It's a home run there. Not here.
I mean, it's 386 there, so you got to hit a 400 plus.
With a high fence, it's almost like the Great Wall of Flushing used to be. So Wheeler able to breathe after that long fly ball out. And now Casey McGee, who might wind up being Wheeler's final batter of the day. McGee has singled to center and grounded out 1 for 2. And it's blown away for ball 1. Well, the right-hander is Buddy Carlisle. You know him. The left-hander, though, you may not. Dario Alvarez just called up today from Double-A. Has never pitched a game in the major leagues, and he is wearing number 68 and warming up.
So the Mets have 2 players on their roster that it started the year in Single A.
That's right. Wilson Herrera and Dario Alvarez. Wow. Alvarez is a little older. He's 25 years old. His history is a little more complicated than Herrera's. Player who started out of the Phillies organization, played in Panama, played in Venezuela, and then signed with the Mets last year. And had a great year this year, Single A, Double A.
So somewhere there's a scout with a big smile today, right?
Even more so if he gets in and gets somebody out. 2-1 to McGee. And he takes a swing at a changeup and misses. 2-2.
Well, McGee doesn't have a lot of home runs this year, but this was a home run swing. Comes up empty.
Well, McGee hit 1 home run before the All-Star break and drove in 53 runs. 2 home runs after the All-Star break, 9 RBIs. So maybe he's been trying a little more to hit home runs, something he avoided earlier in the season. He hits that one, though, a line drive to left center, and that'll go all the way up the gap into the wall. Solano racing to third. He'll score easily. Casey McGee with an RBI double, and it cuts the Met lead to 4-3. RBI number 63 for McGee. And so the Marlins able to cash in on the David Wright error. And now what do you do?
Boy, it's a hard decision for a manager because your head tells you, as you see this bullet hit by McGee, fastball middle of the plate, your head tells you that you should take this pitcher out. It just doesn't happen today. Your heart tells you this guy's given us a lot of tough innings all year. He deserves a chance to get the win.
And he's going to get that chance. At least one more batter as Garrett Jones steps in. Wheeler at 110 pitches through 4 2/3. Tying run at second and 2 out. Jones has walked and reached on an error. And the curveball sits high for ball 1. So the Mets making 2 more errors today. They had 2 yesterday and 2 on Friday. So that's 6 errors in the last 4 games.
And a lot of them have come with Wheeler on the mound. Just happenstance, but still drives up that pitch count.
There's a good fastball, and he's even on Jones 1-1. Well, he was able to get around the Herrera error in the 3rd by striking out Ozuna. Not able to negate the right error here in the 5th. McGee at second and 2 down. 1-1 to Garrett Jones. And a foul tip. 1-2.
2 straight fastballs right by Jones. If you're pitching, you have to say to yourself, you can't catch up to it. You've gotten ahead in the count. Now just use that fastball up in the strike zone or out of the strike zone.
Wheeler has struck out 8.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Here comes McGee trying to score. Lagares' throw sails in too high. The Marlins tie the game. Jones goes to second. RBI single for Garrett Jones, and it's 4-4.
Well, that's one of those decisions by the center fielder Lagares where he decides, forget about the cutoff man, I'm going in the air with this, and it was just a poor throw, an errant throw, and nice hitting by Jones.
Well, he really never had a chance to get Casey McGee, and by airmailing that throw, he puts the go-ahead run at second. So instead of Wheeler having a chance for a win, now he has a chance to be a losing pitcher. He'll exit, and the Mets will go to the bullpen and bring in Buddy Carlisle to face Marcell Ozuna. Tough day at the office for Wheeler. He leaves after 4 2/3. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. Buddy Carlisle comes on to try and keep this game tied in the 5th inning. And Marcell Ozuna fouls back the first pitch fastball. Ozuna delivered a triple to drive in a run in the 2nd, then struck out with the bases loaded to end the 3rd. 2 unearned runs for the Marlins here in the 5th, knocking Zach Wheeler out of the box and bringing in Carlisle. Last pitched on Saturday, went 2/3 of an inning against the Phillies.
Hit toward the hole. That's a base hit. Jones to third. He'll be waved home. Dendecker with the throw to the plate. It's cut off. And the Marlins take the lead. The throw appeared to be on line, but Wright decided to cut it off. And the RBI single by Ozuna puts Miami in front 5-4.
Well, first, good hitting by Ozuna, just finding that hole. David gets in the spot, and it looked like Jones does not run well. I'm not saying you could get him at home, but that throw's got to be let go. Give you an opportunity to maybe get Jones at home.
So 3 runs are home in the inning, all of them unearned because of Wright's error. And Ozuna's 2-out hit, his second RBI of the day, puts Miami in front. Now it's Saltalamacchia. So the book is closed on Wheeler. He goes 4 2/3, allows 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a hit by pitch, and a home run. And now he has a chance to be a losing pitcher. What a turn of events. 3 batters ago, it looked as though he had a chance to be a winning pitcher.
These day games after traveling are just sloppy.
Saltalamacchia has struck out and walked today. And Carlisle gets the outside corner, much to the dismay of Saltalamacchia, who gives a withering look back to Mark Wegner. Ozuna at first with 2 out. Mets have the full shift on against Saltalamacchia. So Cole Hamels now has a no-hitter through 6, 5 walks, 108 pitches. Wow. I mean, there's no way, right?
That's what we said on June 1st,
I guess.
a couple of years ago.
He wasn't at 108 through 6, though.
No, but it was up there. I know we started talking about it in the 6th.
I mean, this would have to be an Edwin Jackson or Tim Lincecum kind of no-hitter where it'd have to go in well into the 140s at best. It's 2-0 Phillies in that game going to the 7th. 1-2 to Saltalamacchia. Ozuna runs. Good throw by d'Arnaud, and he got him. That's the best throw Travis d'Arnaud's made in a long time. David Wright made the tag. Mike Redmond's going to come out. He might challenge the call, so hold your horses.
Well, good pitch to throw by d'Arnaud. He bounces the throw, but nice play by David to pick it up and apply the tag. Ozuna never got there.
I think he's saying he was not tagged. Mike Winters was there to make the call. Let's see if David made contact with Ozuna.
Boy, it looked like the shirt moved enough.
And Redmond is not going to challenge the call, so the inning is over. So the caught stealing ends the inning. It goes 2-5. 3 unearned runs for the Marlins put them in front, 5-4 after 5.
It's
nice that Mrs. Met has been reintroduced. She was away for so long.
I mean, when I didn't even know she was original.
Well, she was raising her kids, and so she was otherwise occupied. But now that the Mr. and Mrs. Met household is an empty nest, she's gone back to work.
Oh, very, very nice.
Lucas Duda leading off in the 6th inning against Brad Hand, who's worked 2 2/3 innings of relief. There's Mr. Met.
He's everywhere.
Proud husband.
Everywhere.
2-1 to Duda, who has hit a comeback and struck out. So Lucas now 2 for 25 since that great road trip to California.
And it's all the same. Every the staffs he's faced, the Braves, Phillies, now the Marlins, like plenty of slow and slower.
On the way, I'm told that Cole Hamels shaking hands in the dugout after his 6 no-hit innings. So it looks like if the Phillies get a no-hitter today, it'll be a combined effort. Now, how would that have gone over in your day?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an interesting
any
question.
kind of similar situation. I mean, there have been combined no-hitters over the years.
Yeah.
The Braves had one that Ken Merker started. The Astros had that 6-pitcher one that Billy Wagner finished. Jones handles the Duda ground ball for the first out. I mean, would there have been a fight?
There would have been spirited discussion. Absolutely. What? You're going to take me out? I don't know if you looked at the scoreboard. There's a no-hitter going on. I'm pitching it. We would definitely have that kind of conversation. But it's
regardless of how many pitches you throw.
It wouldn't matter. I mean, every pitcher thought. Listen, every pitcher, when they go out there, wants to limit their pitches. They want to have a 115-pitch effort for 9 innings. But some games just get away from you. And with the 5 walks, got away from Hamels in the pitch department. But you still want a chance to throw it.
Travis d'Arnaud has flied out and hit a comebacker 0 for 2. Well, Brad Hand in the right place at the right time today. Came in after Alvarez was hurt in the 3rd inning. He's allowed just 2 hits over 3 scoreless innings of relief, and now he's got himself a lead to work with. Starting pitcher moved to the bullpen, so he can go as far as the Marlins need him. Carlos Torres up in the Mets bullpen. And the backdoor breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2 to d'Arnaud. Hand has got good stuff, but his outings as a starter had gotten less and less effective, which is why they went to look elsewhere.
Well, it's interesting that he's not a hard thrower, but he's a guy that when he has his control, keeps the ball down, gets a lot of ground balls. Of course, negates the left-handed hitting. But I think he's going to have a career a little bit like Craig Stammen maybe for the Washington Nationals. Was a starter, struggled as a starter, but became a capable. Stammen's very good in that bullpen for the Nationals.
As a multiple innings kind of relief pitcher. Misses with a changeup, and it's 3-2 to d'Arnaud with Den Decker on deck. It's funny how these games work, isn't it? Started the day with Wheeler and Alvarez, each of whom has dominated these teams. Alvarez out of the 3rd inning, Wheeler out of the 5th inning, 5-4, and who knows where this game is going.
A couple errors by the Mets, an error by the Marlins.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming to d'Arnaud, and he hits it right back up the middle for a base hit. So the Mets have their 6th hit of the afternoon. A 1-out base runner. Let's check in with the studio. Gary Apple has a game break brought to you by your local Tri-Honda dealers. Well, Gary, I hope you're having fun in the studio, because this is far more relaxing. feel like we're in a beer commercial.
That's right, exactly.
So Milwaukee out to the mound to talk to Hand with the tying run at first and 1 out. Matt Dendecker, who had a dribbler to the right side that went for an infield hit his last time up. Each team now with 6 hits. Mets down a run in the 6th. And the breaking ball misses to Dendecker.
You know, I very rarely get to do games here, so it's a pleasure. Last time I did games here, we were staying in Key Biscayne. So it's fun to be here and see those shots.
So have you been in this ballpark before?
You know what, I thought I hadn't, but I have been here before.
It really is a fascinating ballpark to walk around. It feels so much like the city that it's in. The color scheme is very Miami with the lime green walls, and you got the aquarium behind home plate and the home run sculpture out in left center. Sam Dyson up in the Marlins bullpen. But then in the concourses too, Jeffrey Loria, who's the owner of the Marlins, is an art dealer, and they have some great art, and the bobblehead museum in the lobby as well.
Bobblehead museum?
I believe you're featured in the
No
bobblehead
way.
museum. Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, is going to come out for a conversation after Hand falls behind on the left-hand hitter Dendecker 3-0. Well, we asked you a little earlier for your Toyota tweet of the game what you were looking forward to seeing for the Mets in September as they look forward to next year. Here are some of your responses. Bring up Syndergaard and Reynolds. Looking forward to watching the young pitching. Wheeler and DeGrom and others. And more coming up later.
I'm going to have to see more because that wasn't enough. There it is.
It's the Bobblehead Museum. They have thousands. I mean,
Wow.
It is unbelievable.
I know that the clubhouse guy for the Los Angeles Dodgers has his own private collection, but I've never seen anything like that. I'm going to have to take a walk around tomorrow.
And there's ball 4. So Dendecker draws a 4-pitch walk. By the way, when's the last time we saw a pitching coach go to the mound on 3-0?
Never.
So the Mets have 2 men on with 1 out. Dilson Herrera coming up. Here's some more of your tweets. Looking forward to see if David Wright and Curtis Granderson can finish strong. That would be big. D'Arnaud, Wheeler, and Lagares. Hot month from Wright. So Met fans have the right idea.
Everyone's all about feeling good. Just trying to feel good.
Well, that's going to be all for Brad Hand. He got the visit from the pitching coach on 3-0 and from the manager on 4-0. So 1 pitch later, he is done. And the Marlins will go to their bullpen again and bring in the right-hander Sam Dyson. Mets have the tying run at second and the go-ahead run at first with 1 out. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Wise. Mets down a run in the 6th. We'll be right back to Miami.
pitcher ever.
You never will see someone at the age of 20 perform like that. Never.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I just felt like when I take them out, I'm going to win and I'm going to dominate.
And he did. The Good Doctor premieres tonight at 9:30 right here on SNY. You are going to want to watch. 26-year-old Sam Dyson out of the University of South Carolina on to pitch for the Marlins.
Well, hasn't been in a lot of ball games. Came up with the Toronto Blue Jays where he only appeared in a couple of games, but sinker slider kind of pitcher in Dyson.
He'll face Dilson Herrera with 2 men on and 1 out. Mets down a run in the 6th inning. Herrera hit his first big league home run in the 3rd, grounded into a double play in the 4th. And he lines one to right field. Stanton can't get it. Base hit, and it goes by him to the wall. Darno's in with the tying run. Dendecker being waved home. The relay by Solano to the plate. Not in time, and the Mets have the lead. A triple for Dilson Herrera drives in 2, and the Mets lead 6-5.
How about the hitting here? So coast to coast, Herrera with the home run to left field, and now the triple to right. Just gets past Stanton, and by the time he gets to it and gets it to Solano, the good speed of Dendecker scores, and a triple for Mr. Herrera.
So Herrera today with his first major league home run, and now his first big league triple.
See, Dendecker had to identify if that ball was going to get behind. Then he picked up Tuffle, of course.
Infield in, Wilmer Flores swinging at that 97-mile-an-hour sinker. So the first pitch thrown by Dyson, and Herrera, who hit the home run earlier, produces 2 with a triple. So in his 4th big league game, Herrera having himself a day. Dyson quickly ahead on Flores 0-2. Kirk Neuenhuis is out on deck to bat for the pitcher Carlisle, who's now pitcher of record on the long side. Wheeler's off the hook. Brad Hand, who did so much good work, now is pitcher of record on the short side. Carlos Torres up in the bullpen. Hand charged with both runs here in the 6th. Infield in, 0-2 coming to Flores, and the breaking ball outside, 1-2. Mets were down 2-0, up 4-2, down 5-4, and now they've come right back after the Marlins scored those 3 unearned runs in the 5th to regain the lead. Flores is 1 for 2 today, and Wilmer fouls it off. Dyson's got some nice run on that fastball.
He really does. He just got that first pitch up to Herrera. I love to see that from hitters. When the pitcher comes in, he's trying to get ahead of you, and Herrera was ready.
Herrera in 3rd with 1 out. 1-2. Flores hits one to short. Herrera's holding, and Echeverria makes the play to first for the 2nd out. Now, why would you not have the contact play on?
I don't understand it. I think when you are in a position of strength and you're leading the ball game, take it to him. Make Echeverria make the play. Now, if it's right to him and he pegs you out by 5-6 steps, then just get in a rundown and get the runner to second base. But no contact here. If he had been going on contact, I bet you he scores on that play because Echeverria had to go to his knees.
Yeah, down to the glove hand side, that would have been a difficult pivot to make to throw home. Neuenhuis, the pinch hitter, he's going to be intentionally walked, and they'll bring up the right-hand batter Lagares instead, and Dyson almost threw that one away. There have been calls from time to time for the intentional walk to be a simple wave to first base. We've seen too many pitchers threaten to throw one to the backstop to think that that is a good idea.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, the Mets own Henry Mejia struggles with that.
So Neuenhuis has been very dangerous as a pinch hitter and had a big double, stolen base, and runs scored as a starter yesterday. Gets the intentional pass here.
Yeah, Gary, I just don't get it. I think that when you get a lead, make the defensive team make a play, you know, and again, if it's right at Echeverria and you're going on contact, you'll notice that. Just get in a rundown, and you'll have the runner get to second base at some point.
So Lagares comes to bat with first and third and 2 out. Juan is 1 for 3 today. Dumped a single into center and stole a base in the 5th. This is the 5th straight game that Lagares has led off. A little different look for the Mets lineup. Granderson had been leading off for so long. Herrera at third, Neuenhuis at first and 2 out. And I wonder in the long term if the Mets consider Lagares a leadoff guy. He doesn't really profile that way.
He doesn't. I mean, he'd have to get that on base percentage up, 30 points or so.
I mean, I would think if you're going to play the unit that you're playing right now, that Dendecker would look more like a leadoff hitter.
Well, the thing about it is Lagares is leading off because you don't have that many options. That's why he's leading off. I think later in his career you'll see him more of a 6th place hitter, 5-6 maybe.
If he's with the Mets next year as their regular second baseman, would Dilson Herrera look like a leadoff hitter?
Boy, dangerous. Neuenhuis stole a big bag in yesterday's game.
Stole third in that 8th inning before Herrera drove him in. Boy, Herrera's bat is playing just like everybody thought it would, isn't it? 20 years old, up from Double-A. And that's inside. Now it's 2-0 to Lagares. Herrera with a home run and a triple today. 4 for 12. With 4 RBIs in his first 4 big league games. And hitting the ball with authority. Not like a little guy. Dyson behind 2-0, looks in on Neuenhuis.
Well, that's the great thing about baseball, Gary, is that little guys, if they're put together like Herrera is, I mean, Miguel Tejada comes to mind, littler guys that are just strong as an ox.
Ricky Henderson. Two-0 coming from Dyson, and Lagares fouls one into the dirt. 2-1. Joe Morgan.
Wow.
Tim Raines.
Yeah. Dustin Pedroia in his MVP year, right?
Even Howard Johnson, not a big guy.
Pound for pound, one of the strongest guys I ever played with.
2-1 to Lagares. Neuenhuis drawing plenty of attention from Sam Dyson. Tom Goodwin saying, see what happens when you steal a few bases? All of a sudden, spend a lot of time on your belly. There he goes. And they don't even think about making a throw. The Mets, who pulled a delayed double steal earlier in the week. Maybe you got the Marlins' attention because Saltalamacchia had no intention of throwing to second base. So Neuenhuis, who stole 2 bases yesterday, picks up his 4th of the year today. And now 2 in scoring position for Lagares with Granderson on deck. And Lagares swings through the fastball, 3-2.
I don't understand not having any defense at all for that play. I mean, if you don't want to throw the ball through to second, then have your catcher fake it at least. Maybe you'll get the young 20-year-old to come off the bag.
He got a rookie at third base in his 4th big league game. Little League, we used to try the throw the ball hard back to the pitcher play. I never see that in the big leagues. 3-2 to Lagares, 2nd and 3rd and 2 out. And he foul tips it. It's held by Saltalamacchia, and Dyson is able to get the 3rd out, but not before the Mets get the lead. Dilson Herrera, already with his first big league home run in the game, takes one the other way for his first major league triple. That plates a pair and puts the Mets up 6-5 in the 6th.
innings out of Mr. Torres. See his number 79 innings pitched on the year. That's some kind of work for the starter / reliever.
His workload has diminished somewhat. Made that one terrific start for the Mets in a spot starting role. Went 5 innings. Hasn't pitched in 4 days since he faced the Braves. They didn't pitch at all in the Philadelphia series. And he'll come on here to face Jared Saltalamacchia, and the Mets again will put on the full shift against Saltalamacchia, who has struck out and walked today.
Now this is the time, if you're Saltalamacchia, that you'd have to think about bunting. You need base runners.
Well, the one thing we've seen with Saltalamacchia this year, and maybe one of the reasons his numbers are down this year, he has been swinging for the fences. It's really been his year. He's hit 11 home runs, but batting just .228. And he takes a cut at a curveball and misses, and it's 0-2. Echeverria on deck, and then the pitcher's spot for the Marlins in this back and forth game. Mets were down 2-0, up 4-2, down 5-4, and then Herrera's 2-run triple put the Mets back in the lead. Saltalamacchia swings at a 55-foot breaking ball. He's out on strikes. I'm not sure I've seen anybody swing at a pitch like that in the last few years.
I mean, that ball hit 5-6 feet in front of the plate. The only way you swing at a pitch like that, Gary, is you just guess and you start your swing early.
You just decided before the pitch is thrown you're going to swing it.
Premeditated swing.
How often do you think that happens?
Well, it happens more than you think, but usually not on a pitch like that.
Well, look, there's our old friend Jordani Valdespin on deck to pinch hit. Echeverria trying to bunt for a hit. Herrera comes in and has no chance. Throws it away. It goes out of play, and that'll move the runner to second base. So a ball that Herrera should have put in his pocket instead winds up putting the tying run into scoring position.
Well, first, the bunt on the ball that would have probably hit him, and he gets it out there, and of course, 20-year-old mistake. You don't want to make this play. You can tell right away he's deep, couldn't charge it in time, didn't read it, just don't throw it. But easy to say when you're 54 like I am, not 20 like Mr. Herrera. I mean, this a little more, and it might have been a double, and you can see his back foot's out of the batter's box,
which technically means he should be out. So it's a bunt single for Echeverria, and Herrera, who has 2 extra base hits today, now has 2 errors today as well. And here is Valdespin, the former Met, to pinch hit against his old team. So plenty going on right here. This will be Valdespin's first appearance against the Mets. Tying run at second, and the curveball from Torres is down for ball 1.
Gary, I saw a game just like this one, but I was playing for West Boylston American Legion at the time. I mean, it's just...
Valdespin taking all the way on 1-0, and it's 2-0.
Have to be one of the most enigmatic players to ever wear a Mets uniform, Mr. Valdespin.
Well, we certainly know he can deliver as a pinch hitter. Has more pinch hit home runs in one season than any Met has ever had. He had 5. That was in 2012. And now Torres behind him, 3-0. See what the standings are in the National League East. Echeverria at second and 1 out. And Valdespin walks on 4 pitches. So Dan Worthen gets to pacing again. This has not been a distinguished effort by anybody today. Wheeler left after 4 2/3, having given up 5 runs. Only 2 of them earned because of errors on 5 hits. Buddy Carlisle didn't retire a batter, but got an out on a caught stealing, and right now stands to be the winning pitcher. Imagine that.
That is no answer for that one.
And now Torres gives up the bunt single to Echeverria. Herrera compounds it with an error, and then Torres walks Valdespin on 4 pitches. And now it's Christian Yelich with 2 men on. Yelich 0 for 3, grounded out and struck out twice against Wheeler.
He's been red hot though, Yelich.
Perhaps this game is exactly what it should be. A laborious game on Labor Day.
Yeah.
Cutter in for a strike to Yelich, 1-1.
Yelich's power is down and in on the pull side, but he does have great power to left center also. Anything out over the plate.
9 home runs this year for the 22-year-old as Torres takes a look. Flores had been ducking in behind Echeverria, but he was not covering there. Yelich 1 for 5 in his career against Torres. And takes the curveball outside. 2-1. Yelich, first round draft pick out of high school by the Marlins in 2010. And a great month of August at .339 during the month. 0 for 3 to start September.
It's that one sharply up the middle of base hit. Echeverria heading for the plate. Here comes Lagares' throw to the plate. It skips in, not in time. And the Marlins have tied it again. All the way to third goes Valdespin. It's now 6-6. Christian Yelich with his 48th RBI.
Well, just a base hit up the middle. You didn't think Lagares is going to have a play, but he charges the ball as well as any outfielder I've ever seen. Full bore. And just couldn't get that ball on the other side of the mound. That would have been the difference. Valdespin, who wants to pay back his teammates, hustling the whole way, saw that they're sending him, and he proceeds to third base.
That's a big base because now the go-ahead run is at third with 1 out. So back and forth we go. And now Donovan Solano, the batter. Solano has struck out, been hit by a pitch, and reached on an error, 0 for 2. Torres needs a double play ball. Valdespin at third, Yelich at first, and Solano chases one out of the strike zone, 0-1.
Sixes everywhere here for Torres. As he tries to get out of this trouble before you know who comes up.
Hope it's not an omen. One to Solano, and the cutter off the plate. 1-1. Solano has a home run against Torres in 3 career at bats. Yelich 16 stolen bases on the year. He's on first. And the breaking ball hits solely off the mound. Herrera with a turn. Duda with a scoop. They got him. Terrific double play to end the inning. Herrera makes another nice turn with a runner bearing down on him, and Duda able to pull it out of the dirt. And it gets Torres through the inning with the game tied. 6-4-3. 6-6 after 6, Damian.
and the Marlins. There's Eric Goodell. Gary was talking earlier about some of the call-ups. It is September 1st, and he is one of them that came up from AAA. Interesting story. A guy that didn't really have too much success in AAA, but is on the 40-man roster. Mets want to see what they have with him because they've got some decisions to make after the season is over. But he had been a starter since the Mets drafted him, but converted to relief this year. It's something that he had done in the past, though, because he went to UCLA, and he was supposed to be a starter, but was a reliever. Why was he a reliever there? Because they had 3 starters in Rob Rasmussen, Trevor Bauer, and Garrett Cole, who you may have heard of. They've all been in the major leagues already, so that's why he was pushed to the bullpen. So he's familiar with the idea of the role. What he had to do, though, was change his style. He had 4 pitches, and so he had a fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. And he said, the changeup was definitely my worst pitch. And then speaking with Dan Worthen, what I decided to do is drop the changeup, drop the slider, go fastball, curve. But what I started to do late in the year is develop a splitter just by placing the ball on my fingers like every day out in the bullpen, and started to feel good. And I started to throw it the second half of the season, and now I really like that pitch. We'll see if we see it. Granderson didn't see that. He's a strikeout victim. Gary, I see you back upstairs.
Thanks very much, Kev. Nice to be seen. Mike Dunn strikes out the first man to face him.
That's like going to Oklahoma or Texas and there's 4 quarterbacks in front of you, with the situation he had at UCLA.
Isn't that how Adam Dunn became a baseball player?
That's right.
Here's David Wright, who had a 2-run single back in the 3rd, 1 for 3 on the day. And Dunn misses upstairs for ball 1. So the Marlins started with Henderson Alvarez, who left because of injury in the 3rd. Brad Hand went 3 innings in relief. Sam Dyson got a couple of outs, and now Dunn pitching in the 7th. This is the perfect September 1st kind of a game. Everybody's got some extra bodies, September call-ups. So prepared for one of these messes of a game, and it has been that.
Well, you've been in the stadium when you guys went 20 innings, right?
The 20-inning game was at Citi Field. I think the 18-inning game was here. Right? Both of them featured Sean Markham.
That's right.
Pitching many innings in relief, and I think taking the loss in both of those games. That was 2 years ago. Mike Dunn still throwing hard after all these years. And finds the outside corner with the slider. 2-2 to right with Lucas Duda on deck. By the way, Jake Diekman pitched a hitless bottom of the 7th. So the Phillies still have their no-hitter intact and a 5-0 lead over the Braves with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. So they may yet throw a no-hitter. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mike Dunn to start his stint in the 7th. So he strikes out Granderson and strikes out Wright. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Duda against Dunn. Lucas 0 for 3 today. 3 for 13 in his career against Mike Dunn, who has often been called in to face Lucas. I've seen a lot of Dunn over the years. Stops with the Yankees and Braves.
He's got a great arm. Control has been kind of his issue, and that was a hanging slider there.
I was thinking yesterday about players who have made the tour of a division because of the trade, as Duda finds one up the middle for a base hit. So the Mets have a 2-out base runner, and Duda's got a hit. And interestingly, the Marlins don't shift against Duda, and he finds the spot where the shift might have covered it up. Anyway, Kelly Johnson went to the Orioles. He has now completed a complete tour of the American League East. He's played for all 5 teams in the division after starting out with the Braves and the Diamondbacks. I mean, how many players have ever done that?
That's right.
For every team in one division.
I was trying to think. There was another guy.
Pete Orr almost made it through the National League East, but he never made it to the Mets. I think he played for everybody else. Here's Travis d'Arnaud, who had a base hit and scored a run in the 6th. Due to the go-ahead run at first. And d'Arnaud lines one into left field for a base hit. Duda goes to second. So the Mets with a back-to-back 2-out hits from Duda and d'Arnaud. So a big D, a little D, and now the other little D, Dendecker, will come to bat.
Well, the thing about d'Arnaud, since he's come back from AAA, it's not even that he's getting hits, and he is. Not that he's hitting with power, which he is, but he is hitting the ball as sharp as anyone on this Mets roster.
And it won't be Dendecker. It's going to be Eric Campbell to bat for Dendecker with a lefty in the game. So Terry picking his spot with his best right-handed pinch hitter. And he'll send Campbell up to bat against Dunn. And Campbell is 2 for 2 against Mike Dunn. So this is one of those things that a manager sits there hours before the game and thinks, if I can just get this matchup, I'm going to be happy. Might work, it might not work, but it's what he wanted, and he gets it. And no right-hander for the Marlins to change it. So it will be Campbell against Dunn. Tie game, 2 out and 2 on. Top of the 7th. And Campbell takes a fast strike. Dilson Herrera, who has been the player of note today, is on deck. Home run, triple, 2 errors, a couple of great looks on a double play. Blocked by Saltalamacchia. Keeps the runners split 1-1.
What makes Campbell so difficult to pitch to in these pinch hitting situations that he has the ability, if Dunn stays away with that fastball, to hit the ball to right field.
Eric 7 for 19 as a pinch hitter, which is tremendous for a rookie. Normally your best pinch hitters are veteran players who've adjusted to that role over the years, but Campbell came up hitting and has done a great job off the bench, particularly against the lefties. Tries to hold the swing, and he went around on the high fastball, 1-2.
Fastball up just surprises Campbell, up and in.
Duda at second, d'Arnaud at first with 2 down. One-two from Dunn, and Campbell able to foul away that inside fastball. Again, the 1-2. Another foul ball. This one with a slider.
Well, with 2 outs, it's going to help the runners, both d'Arnaud and Duda, to get a better jump. But we've seen Ozuna's arm earlier in the season with a couple assists. Stanton has as good an arm as anyone in right field. Yelich probably has the weakest arm in left field, but he's pretty accurate.
Saltalamacchia out for a conversation.
Stanton, good arm. Ozuna, outstanding arm. Yelich, maybe the weaker of the 3, but still a good arm.
Mets were involved in those plays at the plate with Ozuna when he was playing left field and threw out 2 runners at the plate. Mets argued that the plate was illegally blocked both times and got no satisfaction. It was back in June. 1-2 to Campbell. Lays off the pitch away. So Ken Giles pitched a hitless bottom of the 8th. So 6 for Hamels, 1 for Diekman, 1 for Giles, and a no-hit bid going into the 9th.
So it's not a safe chance, but I think you got to go with Papelbon, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like they're in the race and they have to save him for a big game.
Not have another big game.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Campbell. And time asked for.
assertively asked for by home plate umpire Mark Wegner. Very good.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at bat from Dunn to Campbell. Popped it up. Ozuna waiting for it to come down. Side retired. Mets get 2 hits and leave 2. 7th inning stretch on Labor Day in Miami, tied at 6. Online event today for bonus cash on their most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. By Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap introduces the new green pepper sauce flavor. Pick up the perfect punch of jalapeno and poblano today. And by City, every time the Mets hit a home run at Citi Field, City will make a $2,000 donation to a local community partner courtesy of the City Thank You Home Runs for Community program. Eric Campbell stays in the game in left field. Giancarlo Stanton leads off the home 7th and takes up and in from Carlos Torres for ball 1. Stanton's hit the ball 1,200 feet in 3 at-bats today. 1 home run and 2 very dangerous fly balls. The home run came in the 1st inning. It was his 34th of the year. His 99th run batted in. Then he hit one to the warning track in center and to the warning track in left center. Casey McGee on deck. Garrett Jones behind him. Carlos Torres working his 2nd inning of relief, and a breaking ball hit in the air to left. This one shallow, and over comes Campbell to the line and across to make the catch. Campbell was staggering the entire way when he made it there in time for the 1st out.
Well, just off the end of the bat, a little too quick by Stanton, who never left the box. Interesting, because the ball was only about 10 feet foul. But nice job by Campbell and Stanton's reaction.
Well, you can't say the wind took it. The roof is closed. 1 out and nobody on. Here's Casey McGee, a single and a double. He drove in a run in the 5th inning. What an odd game this has been. Stanton breaking things.
Can't believe that Torres got him out. Can't believe it still.
a strike to McGee. Stanton, by the way, is now just 1 for 9 against Carlos Torres. So it's not the first time Carlos has gotten him out.
Maybe it was just the pitch more so. That was a pitch that he usually crushes.
McGee lays off. 2-1. Marlins took a 2-0 lead. Stanton's home run in the first. Ozuna's RBI triple in the second. Henderson Alvarez fell apart in the third when Dilson Herrera hit a home run, and then Alvarez made a poor decision on a bunt. He wound up leaving that inning with an oblique injury as the Mets scored 4. But the Marlins came back in the bottom of the fifth, used a David Wright error to score 3 unearned runs, knocking Zach Wheeler out of the box when it looked like Zach might be able to hang on and go 5 with the lead. Mets regained the lead on Herrera's 2-run triple in the 6th. And then the Marlins tied it at the bottom of the 6th. Now McGee is on with a 1-out walk in the 7th. Second walk given up in relief by Torres, and the 4th for Met pitchers today. A.J. Ramos, who was injured the last time the Mets faced the Marlins, healthy and ready to go. Garrett Jones had an RBI single that tied up the game in the 5th. He's also walked and reached on an error, 1 for 2. And the Mets will not shift drastically against him as he takes on the outside corner for a strike. Tapper, and that triples foul. 0-2. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by Cadillac. Bo Porter, first big league manager fired this season. The Pirates just 2 games behind the Brewers and the Cardinals in the NL Central, lead 3-2 over St. Louis. That game's in the 6th. And the Phillies, with 6 innings from Cole Hamels and 2 from the bullpen, have a no-hitter going, a 6-0 lead over the Braves in the 9th. 0-2. Just off the plate to Jones, 1-2. Marcell Ozuna waits on deck. McGee at first and 1 out. And Jones lays off. 2-2. The Mets 6 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors. The Marlins 6 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. This ballpark's only been open for a few years, but it's already become a place where strange things happen to the Mets. Jones strikes out on the cutter. There's a nice pitch by Torres for his 2nd strikeout.
Wow, that's his best cutter in the last couple innings. That ball took a sharp turn late on Jones.
So 2 out. McGee still at first, and here's Ozuna, who's had a big impact on this game. An RBI triple in the 2nd, an RBI single against Buddy Carlisle that gave the Marlins a lead in the 5th. Ozuna 2 for 3 on the day.
McGee on first right there was trying to get a walking lead, thinking of maybe stealing a base.
Stolen 4 this year. Mets have not had to go to the bullpen early often this year. Their starters have done such a good job. Going to the bullpen early today on a day when their bullpen is a little different look. Guys came out. Suzuka's back in New York to have his elbow looked at. Josh Edgins, same thing. Bone spurs in his elbow. Neither is here. Ozuna pops one up. Herrera with the angle. Gets over near the line to grab it. That retires the side. So Torres pitches 2 innings in relief, getting this game to the 8th, with the Mets and Marlins tied at 6. keep you up to date on the goings on there in Atlanta on a Labor Day afternoon in Miami with the sun now shining outside. It's a very hot day and the roof is closed with all the heat and humidity. Good day to be out on the water or in an air-conditioned ballpark.
Twin engines, nice.
A.J. Ramos will pitch the 8th inning for the Marlins.
He had a little bit of a problem with his shoulder earlier in the year, but he had a fantastic season for these Marlins last year. Appeared in 79 games and continuing 2 years in a row now. Just outstanding work out of the bullpen.
The pride of Lubbock, Texas.
Texas Tech Red Raider.
Yep. Pitched for his hometown team in college. Dilson Herrera has had a memorable day for the Mets. His first big league home run, his first big league triple, 3 RBIs. Nice double play turn. On the other hand, a couple of errors in the field. 4th big league day, and he has certainly filled the stat sheet.
We're using the hockey plus-minus system with Dilson here early on.
Herrera takes a strike from Ramos. Well, getting careers off to fast starts seems to be the thing these days. Jorge Soler for the Cubs has an extra base hit in each of his first 5 games. 3rd player in the last 100 years to do that.
Wow. He had a home run in his first at bat, right?
Yes,
in Cincinnati.
Right, and earlier Javier Baez had a home run to win a game in his first game in the big leagues in the 12th inning. Little looper into shallow left, and on comes Yelich to get it, 1 out. I read a fascinating story in the Pittsburgh, I think it was the Tribune Review. The beat writer for the Pirates wrote it. Some great research about rookies and the way they have trended over the last few decades. The basic premise of it was that rookies are getting off to hotter starts now, but they're hitting the wall faster. It looked at the first 30, the next 30, the next 30 games for rookies when they first come up from the 80s and from now. And what they found was that rookies are having better starts, but presumably because the word now gets around faster than it used to, after 30 games, teams are catching up to them. Whereas it used to be that it took to 90 games for them to catch up to rookies. And furthermore, what it found is that once the rookies hit a wall, that they stayed down for a longer period of time, whereas back in the 80s, players seemed to make the adjustments better and rebound after, say, 120 games.
Well, you had to make
it was a great article.
That's
if you can
great.
find it online, you should.
I'd say you had to make them more on the fly in those days. You know, there wasn't anyone to tell you what to do.
Flores hits one out to left. Yelich with both putouts, 2 away.
And you didn't have to look at the video. You knew that if you throw it down and in to Mike Schmidt, he's probably going to hit it out of the ballpark. So don't throw it down and in. It was you had to learn, as you see Eric Young Jr. coming up, you had to learn kind of on the fly. And I can definitely see that. There's so much out there. Advanced scouts combined with videotape, combined with a videotape coordinator, that they get a book on you really quick.
Right, it used to be once around the league. Now, by the time you played a week in the big leagues, everybody's got video on you. You can see where your weaknesses are. The reason why the Pittsburgh paper ran the story was because of the case of Gregory Polanco, who came to the big leagues this summer with the Pirates and looked like an all-world player and wound up in a 1-for-30 skid and got sent back to the minor leagues.
Well, we saw him when he looked like he was the next great young player.
So Eric Young batting for Carlos Torres with 2 out and nobody on. 6-6 game of the 8th. And a call strike. So it's worth watching with a guy like Soler, with a guy like Herrera enjoying some instant success. You see how quickly teams will be able to go to school on them and try to find a weakness. Certainly we saw it when the Cubs came to town with Javier Baez. He had gotten off to that incredible start, and the Mets saw that he was swinging at everything, started bouncing the ball. Knocked down by Jones, recovered by Ramos, and he beats Young to the bag to end the inning. And Garrett Jones right on the bag. That was the place to be to at least knock it down. And Ramos able to clean up, and Young, I'm sure, wary of another Tim Hudson play, pulled up. It was on this date in 1975 that Tom Seaver became the first pitcher to strike out 200 batters in 8 straight seasons. Got Manny Sanguillen, a free swinger, for his 200th strikeout in 75. Jerry's Familia will pitch in the bottom of the 8th for the Mets.
Well, we've seen Terry Collins go to this format when he's in a tie ball game. He wants to bring Familia in here in the 8th inning. Great numbers all season long. Great ERA.
Steve Cishek, the Marlins closer, gets up in the bullpen. He'll pitch in the 9th. Lower third of the order up for the Marlins in the home 8th. Saltalamacchia, Echeverria, and the pitcher spot. Saltalamacchia 0 for 2 and a walk. And he takes the big cut, 0-1. So there's been a lot of talk about Familia's workload maybe being pushed back a little bit, but here he is pitching for the 3rd time in the last 4 days. Worked yesterday, gave up a home run to Dominic Brown, the first batter he faced in the 8th inning. And Saltalamacchia hits it hard. Over comes Campbell diving. Can't make the catch. Lagares over to recover it. And Saltalamacchia into second base with a leadoff double. Campbell, who made a diving catch like that a few weeks ago, unable to make connection on this one.
Well, he got there in time with the dive. It just hit right in the palm of his glove, not in the pocket. And that's why it didn't stay there. Lagares over to pick it up.
So just as he did yesterday, Familia gives up a hard hit ball to his first batter. David Wright has come over to talk to him rather pointedly and slap him on the shoulder. It was interesting to watch. So now the go-ahead run at second and nobody out. Echeverria, a good bunter, is at the plate. Reed Johnson, a Met killer, is out on deck to pinch hit.
You see Flores trying to keep the runner Saltalamacchia as close as he can. David and Duda pinched in at the corners.
And the bunt is a perfect one. The Miz is going to have to go to first with it. Low throw, and Herrera can't pick it up, and everybody's safe. A perfect bunt by Echeverria, and a low throw by Familia, and Herrera couldn't play the short hop. First and third, nobody out.
Well, it was such a good bunt. It's one of those bunts, though, that David has to take charge of. Familia does not like to throw the ball around the bases, and he ends up with a little sinker over here that Herrera can't make the short hop on.
Sacrifice error on the pitcher. The Mets' 4th error of the game. And Dan Warthen, who has spent the afternoon trudging out to the mound, will head out there again.
David kind of tapped his chest like, my fault. It's one of those plays that you know he's going to bunt. Being that even though, despite it's a good bunt, you've got to make that play. You don't want the pitchers to field it unless you have an exceptional fielder out there. Familia is a pitcher. He doesn't like to throw the ball around the bases. We've seen that before, so you've got to call him off.
The 4 errors for the Mets match their season high. They had 4 errors in a game in Atlanta back in late June. 2 for Herrera, 1 for Wright, and now Familia commits the 4th Met error. And here's Reed Johnson, who is a lifetime .333 hitter against the Mets. He has 999 hits for his major league career. So Reed Johnson looking for a milestone here to try and give the Marlins the lead. Mets will have to bring the infield in with 1st and 3rd and nobody out to tie game in the 8th. So heavy lifting here for Jeurys Familia. Saltalamacchia, a slow runner at 3rd. Echeverria, a good runner at 1st. The infield up for Reed Johnson.
And it skips away. Here comes Saltalamacchia. The throw hits Familia. The run scores. All the way to 3rd goes Echeverria. And the Marlins lead 7-6.
Well, fastball called, sinking, and it gets past. And you see the read by Saltalamacchia. That's a real aggressive play by a guy who doesn't tons of speed, but he gets in there anyway. Nobody out. That's quite a chance to take. And of course, the back runner, Echeverria, he'll take advantage of that ball and go all the way to 3rd base.
It's a wild pitch to score the run, and then an error on Darno, allowing Echeverria to go to 3rd. The Mets' 5th error of the game, and their 2nd of the inning. So it's 7-6 Marlins. Runner at 3rd and nobody out. And the infield still in for Johnson. And the ground ball down to 3rd. The runner will hold as Wright throws out Johnson for the 1st out of the inning. Well, said it about an inning ago. This is a ballpark where it seems as though strange things happen to the Mets. And they are happening again this afternoon.
It's almost appropriate that the go-ahead run scored on a wild pitch, the way the game has gone today.
Christian Yelich is the batter. And it looks like the Mets are going to walk him intentionally. That'll set up the double play with the right-hand hitter Solano coming up behind him. Well, I think the greater concern for the Mets in this inning, going back to yesterday, is that Familia, who has been so dominant, yesterday came in, gave up a leadoff home run to Dominic Brown. Today came in, gave up that leadoff shot to Saltalamacchia that went for a double. And you wonder, is he wearing down a little bit in the depth of the season?
Well, the question I have is that Familia, 2 or 3 outings prior to this, started going to a 4-seam fastball, and he was using that a lot. And I think what has happened is he's lost that good sinking fastball in the strike zone. So this was on the pass ball on the wild pitch. It was supposed to be a fastball sinker down. That ball doesn't even get close. It hits before the plate. So he has, in throwing that 4-seamer, has lost control of that 2-seamer, which was, I think, his bread and butter pitch.
By the way, the Phillies have completed their no-hitter. Jonathan Papelbon worked the 9th. The last out, Phil Gosselin lined out to Darren Ruff at first base. And the Phillies get the combined no-hitter. 6 innings from Hamels, an inning apiece from Diekman, Giles, and Papelbon. A no-hitter for the Phillies as they beat the Braves today 7-0. Here's Solano, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Mets looking for the double play from their middle infielders. And the bunt, it's not a suicide, it's a safety squeeze, but Familia throws it away. Echeverria scores. Runners go to 2nd and 3rd. The Mets' 6th error of the game, and their 3rd in this inning. The 2nd charge to Familia, and the Mets have just completely fallen apart at the seams.
I mean, just the bunt, and the guy on third base has to read it. If he thinks he can make it, he'll go. Familia had him, but doesn't even come close to making a proper throw. We mentioned it before on that sacrifice bunt by Echeverria. Does not like to throw the ball around the bases.
Well, Familia is going to come out of the game. He makes 2 errors in the inning. Darno makes another. The Marlins lead 8-6. And this dreadful game continues on with a new pitcher coming in. 8-6 Marlins in the 8th. We'll be right back. Season this year, but his fielding, especially his throwing to bases, has been a big problem.
Yeah, 2 errors in that inning, 1 to first base and 1 trying to get the runner out at home. But you get a debut by a kid from San Mateo, Eric Goodell.
Eric Goodell, drafted out of UCLA, 24th round pick by the Mets in 2010. Did not have a particularly good year in Las Vegas this year. Pitched in 49 games in relief as he made a transition to the bullpen, and the Mets will intentionally walk Giancarlo Stanton. So when they asked Eric Goodell when he came to the major leagues, what did the first batter do against him? I'll say, well, I faced Giancarlo Stanton.
How'd he do?
Intentions walk.
Crazy.
Anyway, on that last play with Solano, it's a play where they're basically forcing Familia to make a throw, and he couldn't do it. His second error of the inning. It scored a sacrifice, an error, and an RBI for Solano. So 2 errors in the inning for Familia, 6 errors in the game for the Mets, just 1 shy of their club record. And now Casey McGee will come to bat with the bases loaded. Chris Hatcher is up in the Marlins bullpen. They had Steve Cishek up, and I'm sure Cishek will come in if it's still a save chance. But if the Marlins blow this thing open, it may well be Hatcher.
It's like they've seen how the game's going. They think they're going to score more.
So now Yelich is on third, Solano at second, and Stanton at first with 1 out. McGee today 2 for 3, a single, a double, a walk. He's driven in a run. He's scored a run. The Mets 6 runs, 9 hits, and 6 errors. And the curveball from Goodell in for a strike. Eric Goodell, 25 years old, making his major league debut, just called up today from Las Vegas. Ball and a strike to McGee. Goodell had been a starting pitcher until this season. Last year in Binghamton, 25 starts, 9-7, 4.37. This year in relief, 64 innings, 77 hits, and 30 walks. That's a lot of base runners. Gets ahead on McGee, 1-2.
That was that split finger there you were talking about there, Gary. 2 sliders and then the split. The bottom drops out of this pitch.
Well, Kevin was saying that he just developed that pitch this season to go with his fastball and his curve. Now he's ahead on McGee, 1-2. And he goes back to the splitter and misses, 2-2. Now tomorrow night, maybe a thing that would be a little more of beauty. Game 2 of the series. Jonathan Neitz against Brad Penny. Our coverage begins tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on SNY. Now the 2-2. Buries that splitter in the dirt, 3-2. So he's yet to throw a fastball. Now he's 3-2 with the bases loaded. Pretty much has to throw a fastball.
2 sliders and 3 splits. It'll be interesting to see if the young 25-year-old can throw. Maybe they'll call slider here, Gary.
So the merry-go-round will be in motion. Yelich at third, Solano at second, Stanton at first. They'll all be moving. Actually, it's 1 out. Excuse me. That's right. I was getting ahead of myself. 3-2 with 1 out, and McGee almost took out Yelich, taking his lead at third base.
And that was a breaking pitch, 3-2 there from Goodell.
Look out.
Spun him around.
Again, the 3-2, and he walked him to force in a run. Yelich comes in to score the 3rd run of the inning. 9-6 Miami. Second RBI of the day for McGee.
Well, you could see that coming after walking Stanton to load the bases. You got a guy out making his debut. Intentional walk, and now a walk for Goodell.
And so the bases remain loaded for Garrett Jones. He'll be the 8th man up in the inning. 3 runs are in this inning on only 1 hit. That was the leadoff double by Saltalamacchia, and that ball was in the middle of Eric Campbell's glove. Tried to make a diving catch. Obviously wasn't easy, but nothing has gone right for the Mets in this inning. Echeverria laid down the bunt, and Familia made a bad throw. Solano laid down a bunt. Familia made a bad throw. A wild pitch, an error on Darno. 3 errors in the inning, 6 in the game. That curveball balloons high, 2-0. So Goodell has to come into a dicey situation, and it's a hard way to make your debut.
Yeah, hitter's delight right here. 2-0 count, home run hitter and Jones, bases loaded.
Heart beating very fast. 2-0 to Garrett Jones. Well, he threw a fastball by him. Jones nearly swung out of his socks.
He's trying to pick up all 4 here with that swing.
Jones is 1 for 3 today. Drove in 1, scored 2. Solano at third, Stanton at second, McGee at first with 1 out. And Jones hits a sharp one to Herrera, and Flores able to turn the double play. So Goodell gets the double play to get through the inning. But a truly ugly inning for the Mets. Eric Campbell couldn't squeeze it. It's a double for Saltalamacchia. The wild pitch scores a run. The error moves the runners. Another error by Familia. 3 errors in the inning. 3 runs for the Marlins. They lead 9-6. try and earn a save.
He hasn't always had it very easy against the Mets, but a 3-run lead should help here. Back-to-back 30-plus save seasons for Cishek. First, it's only been 3, I think. Rob Nen and Juan Carlos Oviedo.
When he was Leo Nunez.
He's better as Leo.
The player to be named later was better off with his old name. Top of the batting order, Juan Lagares will lead off in the 9th. Lagares 1 for 4 on the day. He stole on the base, he scored a run, and he takes a strike. So yesterday was the last day that contending teams could acquire players who would qualify for the postseason. And the Oakland A's made a deal for the player who has the most games active in the major leagues without ever appearing in the postseason. That would be Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn, first time up today, bottom of the first inning against Chris Young of the Mariners, 2-run homer. 5 runs in the first. They knock out Young in the first inning. All solved for the Oakland offense. They've got a cleanup hitter. Well, they traded their cleanup hitter and everything went wrong.
That's right. A lot of their big hitters in the middle of that lineup were having a tough go. Brandon Moss, Josh Donaldson, after they traded Cespedes.
So Dunn hit a cleanup and DHing today and hits a 2-run bomb in the first inning. Lagares lifts one down the right field line, and that'll go out of play. What's interesting about Dunn, his comments after being traded, and he had to waive his no-trade clause to go to Oakland. He said that he's thinking about retiring when the year is over. So this not only is maybe his first shot to go to the postseason, it might be his last.
The swanest of all songs. I was surprised that he was only 34. I thought he was a little older than that.
Seems like he's been around for a while. Well over 400 home runs. What did he have that? Was it 4 or 5 years in a row? He had exactly 40 home runs.
Well, you can't say that Billy Beane is not out there making moves. I mean, all off season and during the season.
Well, I also, you can't help but notice the fact that, you know, Bob Melvin aired out his team yesterday after they got swept by the Mariners, by the Angels, and here they come out with a 5 spot in the first inning today. You know, Lagares hits one into shallow center. On comes Ozuna to make the grab. 1 out. And there aren't a lot of managers around now who are going to air out their team and say publicly what Bob Melvin said, called the pathetic and embarrassing.
That's right.
And you know, you wonder in this day and age whether that can be effective, and at least for 1 inning it was.
I think it can definitely be effective because it's not done like you said, Gary. So when it is done by a manager, the throwing of the cap, the yelling and screaming at players definitely will get their attention.
Granderson another 0 for today. 0 for 3 and a walk. Henderson Alvarez back in the Miami dugout. He got knocked out in the 3rd inning because of injury, a left oblique strain. Let's see how that affects him down the stretch of the season. And Cishek gets ahead on Granderson, 0-2. About Oakland. They did get swept 4 games by the Mariners. They are 5 games behind, but still 4 games up over everybody else in the wild card standing. So still a pretty safe bet to get to the postseason. Anderson checks the swing. He went around, strike 3. So Granderson has struck out for the 3rd time today.
Did he go around, or was that a called 3rd strike?
Could have been both.
Right.
You're right. The home plate umpire, Mark Wegner, did signal call 3rd strike. It is of no consequence. The Mets are down to their final out. David Wright had a big hit in the 3rd inning, a 2-run single. A 3rd run scored on the play when Ozuna in center field threw the ball away. And the Mets at the time had a 4-2 lead. They would fall behind 5-4, go in front 6-5. The Marlins tied it in the bottom of the 6th. And then took the lead with 3, helped out by 3 Met errors in the 8th. Of those 3 runs, 2 of the 3 were unearned. Ball and a strike to Wright. lot happened in baseball today.
That's
First
right.
manager fired, a no-hitter, veteran player getting a home run in his first at bat for a new team. Dilson Herrera with a home run and a triple, his first of both in the big leagues. 1-2 to right, and he goes down swinging, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Steve Cishek, and a laborious day for the Mets as they fall to the Marlins, committing 6 errors along the way in a 9-6 loss.
You had to wait till September 1st, but this was the sloppiest game the Mets have played all season long. Alvarez did not last, oblique strain for him. The Marlins had enough hitting today. Zach Wheeler, he looked like he had a gift wrap win, but he didn't have his best stuff.
So the Marlins win the Labor Day game as they take the opener of this 3-game series. Here's your game summary. A.J. Ramos